There we go. All right, much better. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a weekly video podcast where we talk about the latest and greatest happenings in VGC. And this time, I've got three incredible guests, sort of going back to Los Angeles regionals, some players who were successful. Although we do have a lot. We had to have another regional in Italy this year to talk about. But yeah, we got your runner-up from Los Angeles regionals, Ryan. How are you doing?
Yo,
Yeah, it's good to have you.
I'm good. I forgot to answer the question.
And then we've also got we also got another top 8 contender. We got Colin. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here for my first time on Tub Days.
I know. I can't.
Is it
believe
actually? I was thinking about it, Colin. Is it your first, man? You've been
Yeah, it
dodging.
is.
You've been dodging, bro.
You always ask, and then I'm like, I work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, it lined up.
Yeah, it's good to have you. We got a big episode tonight, and we've of course got my co-host Alex. How are you doing?
Doing good. Doing good. Yeah, I'm excited. I got them the last couple of coaching sessions today, and then it's time to lock in for Nats. I'm excited for this tournament.
Oh yeah, it should be fun. And so of course today is our NAIC preview. We are going to talk about all of the what we expect to see at nationals, maybe some players to watch at nationals, smart money, you know the drill. We've also got the Japan nationals, which is always a harbinger of things to come at NAIC. Usually, you see some teams get stolen and used to a very high level there too. So we're going to look at some of the teams from there, and then lastly, we're going to look at the regional in that happened in Bologna, Italy, or special event rather. And so, yeah, I guess I don't think we have any. I don't think we have anything else to talk about before that. Do you want to jump into Japan nationals?
Yeah, just mentioned right now YouTube. So if you're here now but you can't stick around for the full stream, make sure to check out it on YouTube tomorrow. So yeah. Anyways, let's talk about Japan Nats first. I think was that the one that wrapped up first, technically chronologically.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough.
I guess, yeah, I think it would have been like 8 hours earlier.
Yeah, basically.
And
yeah, honestly, the thing was when we saw the teams after day one for this tournament, I wasn't super sure it was going to have a lot of bearing on the meta going into NAIC. Even still looking at them, I think I've been playing a lot of ladder, and I don't think I've actually fought like a single team inspired by these. You saying the same, Ryan?
Yeah, like I've had a few people who were trying to ice ride Nats ask me like, "What do you think? Like, is our matchup good into this? Like, is my matchup good into this?" I'm like, dude, I don't care. This team is no one is like throwing this into the builder a week before the biggest tournament of the season and like gonna be playing at the level that it would take to navigate a team like this. So I'm kind of the opinion it's just like not really gonna have a big impact on the Nats meta.
Right. There are some cool teams from this for sure. I'd say like 2.5 of them seem like they could have like some bearing. It's funny because like of those 2.5, one of the most normal teams is a Dawn Wings team. That's like a team that I could actually see people stealing and using in open team sheet best of 3 because you look at it and like pretty much every set is like the expected set on it, and so an open team sheet, closed team sheet, it's kind of functioning the same. But yeah, I know I'm kind of jumping around. Sorry.
Well, well, it's also funny because that's one of the ones that lost in top 8. So as soon as we got to the open team sheet section of the tournament, they got knocked out. Or
that's fair. That's fair.
Or top 6 rather. They won a set.
Top 4 is played in OTS.
Oh, it's only top 4.
Was it? I thought it was top 8.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know that.
It says right there, top 8 OTS BO3. Yeah, right there. Okay.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this team, like, I mean, everything here besides maybe like a Terra type or two, even then, like, Terra Water isn't that bad on Indeedee or that bad on Necrozma. Like, I think I could have probably guessed about every single thing just looking at this enclosed team sheet. But it's a scary team. I know that we're just doing this so random, just talking about the Lunala team, the Dawn Wings team first, but it's whatever. Was there a Lunala too? I thought I saw one. I actually can't remember.
There was a Lunala. Yeah, right here.
Right, the triple dark Lunala team. Wow. Yeah. Your Lunala team has to beat Shadow Rider, right? So just all in on it, and then it beats everything else, right? That's what Lunala does. It just beats literally everything else.
I'm noticing the Umbreon set is just some crack I could have never thought of. Toxic
Yeah,
and Reflect.
It's got to be the Dozo answer. which I
Yeah.
mean, Dozo is a lot more common in closed team sheet. I know there was a lot of Dozo at this tournament, so I think that it makes sense to have also like Terapagos, right? You just combine Terapagos, you get to Toxicate, you get to. So it seems like it has some application into a lot of the raid bosses that you might be otherwise surprised by.
Yep. And you can't miss it if you Terra Poison.
True.
Very important aspect to mention. So yeah, this team and the Miraidon team and the winning team are probably the teams that I think have the most application. I think not that Miraidon team. There was maybe two. Whoops.
This one?
Yeah, the Volk one. Like that definitely looks like a normal team. Like there's Electric Seed here. Rocky Helmet support Volk has kind of been picking up. We saw it do well in Latin America. I think they were running Quiver Dance. But like I think Volcarona either set is starting to show some serious merit. It's good into Zamazenta. It's pretty solid into Ice Rider. It's just like one of those Pokemon that always lines up well with its defensive typing. If rock moves aren't being spammed, and right now I don't think there's many rock moves except I guess Rock Pond.
And in particular with Miraidon, right? I think otherwise Volcarona as a redirector is really threatened by Amoonguss, but Miraidon specifically enables it to be a lot better into Amoonguss and therefore a lot better into Ice Rider teams in general.
Two other things that we got to talk about here that do deviate from the standards we've seen. I just saw Grass Knot on Whimsicott. Let's go. That's crazy.
I mean,
gotta have a matchup for those Groudons, those ground types.
No, but did you see how much Kyogre there was at this tournament? There was like a Kyogre on stream every round. Of course, you gotta have Grass
Knot. Every time I look at a Pokemon, I find one more thing, like Ally Switch on the Giraffe. The things I want to talk about are the Terra Fairy on Choice Specs Miraidon with the Dazzling Gleam, kind of bringing it back. And it's still pretty strong, honestly. Like I think it does break people's counterplay into the Pokemon a little bit. People are so prepared and ready to deal with high damage electric move, and then like this fairy move can just do so much. And then it's also Assault Vest Bear. Assault Vest Bear is pretty crazy.
You notice the vacuum wave on it too,
right? Well, I mean, what else?
crazy.
Can you think of a better fourth move on Assault Vest?
No, I really can't on it. Maybe like a weird Terra Blast, but they went Terra Normal anyway, so.
Hyper Beam.
If I were
Wait, no, you don't even need Hyper Beam. This mod has Blood Moon.
Well, it's 10 points stronger, right? I think.
It is.
So.
I mean,
Probably
it seems like every Chenpao
think
of this
about
tournament, was not Sash. They were all like Life Orb or something stupid like that. So you know what? Vacuum is pretty good there.
Dude, go pull up the one Chenpao team with the Kyogre. That team is what Japan Nats is all about. You think you know what you're gonna see here, and you just don't. Like,
Snowscape is wild.
This was the craziest stream game. We were watching it live, and oh my god, it was just. I'm actually gonna try to pull it up. I think Jody tweeted out.
Yeah, that turn was so funny. I mean, Urshifu was relatively normal, like it just 3 attacks protect a defensive Terra. That's fine, but then they have Snowscape, Torn, Terra, Ice, Blizzard, Kyogre. Hydro Pump to get around, Wide Guard. I respect it.
No normal Ice Stab on the Chenpao either. Like no Crash or Spinner. I guess Shard is good enough with Life Orb, but
I think it was shown on stream that it revealed. What was the norm? It had like Lash Out.
I saw Throat Chop just there.
Throat Chop, right? Okay, so it had Throat Chop, and it revealed the Ice Spinner. And then I think the opponent thought they were safe from Sucker Punch, and then Sucker Punch came out, and I would do the same. I would think they probably don't have Sucker Punch as well as already. They already have a priority move. They already have a dark move. They don't need a dark priority move as well. And then sure enough, it's just so sick.
Which team was that? Was that this one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had Ice Shard, right? And so they didn't reveal Ice Spinner. Ice Spinner would have, maybe given some room to think Sucker Punch, but surely you don't run 2 priority attacks on your Chenpao. You don't drop any strong ice move on your Chenpao. But you know what?
No, you don't need that. The strong ice move is on Kyogre.
Yeah, and listen, Life Orb Ice Shard is a strong ice move. That's all you need.
And then we haven't even mentioned the Rillaboom yet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You saw Miracle Seed. You might have thought you know what you were seeing, but you didn't. You thought wrong.
Yeah. You get like 3 moves down, it looks okay, and then Swords Dance is insane.
Yeah. I love it. And also Trailblaze on the Entei, I do want to mention that Colin, we were looking at that for Portland, weren't we?
Yeah,
At a
we had it on the last slot, I think. But then Flare Blitz was just like objectively better,
We didn't run Flare Blitz, bro.
didn't we?
We had Snarl.
Oh, it's
Wait,
Snarl. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I forgot.
We were talking about it. It was like there was some cooking lines. It was like, oh, you could get the base power boost, from Terra Grass Trailblaze. Whoa. And Chubba was like, that shit sounds ass. And I was like, yeah, whatever.
I do think that the Covert Cloak Kyogre is a really cool idea. We're gonna see another Covert Cloak Mon with 4 attacks that later on the Bologna winning team, I think. But I think that in general is something that people were not really taking advantage of. They were really only using Covert Cloak on Tornadus or maybe Whimsicott, some here and there. But putting it on attackers is really cool because you just can't get faked out and you get to do whatever you want. You can't get snarled, you can't get electrowebbed, and so a lot of things Kyogre doesn't like. Covert Cloak lets it deal with it, and then not having Protect maybe a little questionable, especially in open team sheet. But with Covert Cloak, I think you can maybe justify it because it does. It just gets to throw attacks out.
Yep. And I think I don't know if any of the Torns were actually Covert Cloak, but like it's such a good item on it that people don't risk it. And that's a good point to mention at this point is there was no Ensign in top 8, right?
Mm-hmm. I was saying someone could have gotten really far just by leading Ensign and faking out all the Tornadus because I don't think there was a single Covert Cloak Torn. But yeah, no, there were all the Torns were Stash, I think. So, but yeah, no one seemed to bring Ensign. Ensign gets a lot worse when you don't know if the Chen Pao is Clear Amulet, or where the Clear Amulet is. You don't know if you don't know where the cloaks are, right? And most teams have at least one of those items. You don't know where the like all that stuff is, right? So it makes it a lot harder to play that type of game in a format which is this explosive. But I mean,
there they are though. They're on the edge.
Let's say Incineroar isn't around, and we see a bunch of Incineroar teams right outside of it, just
died just before they could find out where those Covert Cloaks and Clear Amulets are. Just so sad. Drowned in the closed team sheet aspect of the tournament. We haven't mentioned the winning team yet. Mm-hmm. Let's go ahead and actually talk about that one.
I think I saw Hirofumi tweet out because the person that they lost to, Alcana, is a pretty established player. They've been to Worlds, made it to Worlds a number of times. Huma is, I think, a relatively new player or not as established, and was I think Hirofumi called him an up and coming talent. So someone to look out for Worlds. If we got the Worlds draft coming up, Japan national champion is always going to be a hot pick.
I think this person plays on Showdown as well. The Twitter handle they go by is Spy Anya, and I swear I always see Spy Anya pretty high on the ladder. So pretty cool. Because I don't know, it's not Showdown's just definitely not as popular of a tool over there because you just play such a different circuit that it doesn't make as much sense. But yeah, I do want to talk about this Terapagos set. One of the funny things was I really like how Rajan put it. Obviously, the team won the whole tournament, but he was like, that is a lot of work to get a Specs Terapagos and Tailwind because it's Meteor Beam and Rock Polish, and that's just like, yeah, +1 is a choice Specs, +2 speed is a Tailwind, and it's just like, the thing is that you get that with access to Protect, of course. Protect does make the Pokemon a lot more flexible, which is it's better able to use its 2 abilities then.
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, the pacing of the team looked really cool. It got to threaten the Nuke move every single turn in the same way that Meteor Beam is just really, really powerful into a lot of things. Obviously, we didn't see as much Incineroar this tournament, but people, especially if you're not expecting it, it's going to take you by surprise. It's going to do a lot of damage. And then also, similarly, if you are trying to scout out something like that, maybe you're trying to scout if they are Combined or Specs or something, you can just Rock Polish and punish them, and all of a sudden, Terapagos at +2 is a lot scarier. So it does, in open team sheet, knowing what's coming, having knowing that they have to take a couple turns to fully set up is a lot spookier, or is a lot less spooky. But if you are playing in a best of 1 and you see them go Rock Polish and you don't know what's coming next, right, then the Meteor Beam really could catch you by surprise. And yeah, it's a really cool set. Obviously, especially like especially that set, but also I think the Flutter main probably you can't get away with in Open Team Sheet nearly as well. But this player did win the tournament and did win 3 sets of Open Team Sheet Pokemon. So it might maybe we'll see some of these. Maybe we'll see Power Herb, Rock Polish, Terapagos do well at Nats. I don't know.
Is it its time? I don't know.
I think he only won 2 Open Team Sheet sets, I believe, because I think he was on winner's side. So I believe he played the guy he played again in finals, because I remember watching that set twice, and it was just like really dumb. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So only the top 4 players made it to day 2, but the top 8 was best of 3. So they did win 3 best of 3 sets, but one of them was on day 1.
Okay, yeah, because I remember seeing him play the same guy twice. And I was like, this is really stupid. Like, this is crazy. And then he just beat him like both times. I think the matchup was because they had like an AI, and literally he would lead something, and the AI would say it has like a 70% chance to win just from leads. So it was like,
Go ahead and open up the image I posted in the Discord, Audie. I went and grabbed just a quick screen cap of what it looks like. I don't know what all the text on screen says, but it's pretty cool. It basically like they have an AI that tells you like what's the win percentage of a situation. It was very amusing because on the topic of Meteor Beam, it got to an end game where the game would have won if Meteor Beam hit, and so it just said the win percent was 90%. It was just so funny. Like it literally just matched it. But yeah, it takes into a lot of different factors. They debuted this at the what was it called? The Dragon tournament thing. It was a singles tournament in Japan, but now for doubles, it still kind of accurately reflected. Like I don't know, it was funny to follow along with turn by turn, like how my assessment of those situation matched up with what the AI was interpreting, just like purely off of win percentage. But yeah, the King of Dragons tournament, that might have been it. Okay.
yeah, because I was watching it with Toller, and Toller actually like can speak Japanese and read it, so he was reading what it was saying, and like I'd say like 90% of the time, I think it was like 100% of the time, it never wants you to protect. Like it would never predict protect as an option. So it was kind of interesting where it was just like choosing like really hard punishing plays and not accounting for protect whatsoever. Because there was like a turn, I think in the first turn of the first battle of top 4, the Tropicos player actually just followed the #1 choice by the AI and just absolutely destroyed the guy. It was really funny.
Yeah, just attack into the slot that doesn't have protect. It's that simple.
That's
But it wouldn't even tell you to protect, like it just never even was like, oh, we should protect here. It was just no, we're gonna Icy Wind Starstorm, and the other guy's just gonna double attack as well every single time.
It's like actually playing like the gym leader AI or something, like in game, bro. Do you think we'll have this for Worlds? Probably not, honestly. I feel like even if they were like, I just don't think that between now and then they'll like have it like in English or anything. I feel, and like it's not like Worlds in Japan. I don't know. I just feel like it probably won't be used.
I wonder what the I wonder if it requires spectator mode for this. In which case, it might depend on whether or not we get spectator mode for Worlds, and I think that's a different question because I really love this. I think that it's so nice to watch it in spectator mode as compared to seeing what a player is going to do. Could you imagine the crazy snowscape turn that I played on stream? Except you knew what that was going to happen, right? Like it would not be nowhere. It would be nowhere near as exciting, right?
I agree.
I more so than this. I think this is probably, or for this to happen, they probably have to have spectator mode, and I think spectator mode, I didn't fully understand exactly what we were trying to do at Worlds and why it disconnected at Worlds and what was involved. But I think that they are probably going to be risk averse at Worlds and not use it. But if they do, it would be really cool, and it would be really cool to see this translated to English as well.
I think they'll use spectator mode at Worlds. I think they'll just do what they did last year again, where like once they get to the single elimination bracket, they just host like a tournament online and just like slot the players in the right slots. Because like I know at Worlds, I think someone just basically kicked the cords or something. That's what I heard it was. I don't know if that's what it was, but like that's really what like they just disconnected them on accident. Like it was like a human error. So I think they'll probably just do it again. Like especially because they're gonna want a cool stage, right? Like they want to get those clips of the world champion winning with the stage that they designed for however much money, So I feel like they're just gonna run that stage back again.
Yeah. Are there other teams that we still got to make sure we talk about? Let's talk about the
We'll talk about
the
the
I'm
other
gonna
Valiant.
most
shout out the
normal one.
seniors. Like the senior finals felt like a more like real finals to me, honestly. If you scroll down at like near the bottom, you can see it, but
Mm-hmm.
that was honestly like way more entertaining too. The Calyrex mirror, yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
actually think I missed that one, but I heard it was like, was it one-sided or no?
No, it felt like a nice back and forth. It was like
Okay,
way more fun to watch.
gotcha.
but yeah, I do wanna look at the team that got second place, Alcana's team with
We do
Iron
got to talk about
Valiant.
it, yeah, for sure.
It is a pretty cool Pokemon that has not seen a lot of play, and yeah, now instead of using something like a Speed Booster Fluttermane, using the Speed Booster Icy Wind Iron Valiant instead, with why I don't really understand why. Maybe it's
I'm looking
because
at the kit and like we can identify the difference here very easily. It's disable and it's got different base typing and different stats, but it guesses mainly just disable. Or maybe they wanted their Fluttermane to look cool as hell, you know? Like maybe
Nah,
that's just it.
I think it was just like for closed team sheet BS because like once the sheets opened, he never brought it. He had a 5-mon team the entire time I watched him play. So like I think it was just like to threaten wide guard and then to trip you up with icy wind and disable. Like I think that's all it was. And I think once he got to the open sheets, he said, "All right, it's 5-mon team time."
I respect it if that's actually what happened.
Because I mean, at least he didn't bring it in the matchup versus the guy who won. I mean, it's not great in that one, but I really think it was just like a close sheet monster. Like always fearing wide guard is like just so that's like the best thing it can do. So not having it and then being able to disable just seems nuts. I mean, these
The
guys
Mon has
play
so many
online.
moves.
Yeah, they just play online all day, so they're probably like definitely really good at playing this type of format, even though it's like so like not what we're used to. And I feel like their teams are like really good in a closed sheet environment. But yeah, I think all these teams are trash, and no one should steal any of them because they're purely just for this tournament.
Well, oh yeah, we already did talk about the Miraidon team. Yeah, I forgot. So
It's cute, yeah.
that one, I think there's elements of it.
I think Dozo is probably like, I mean, we saw Miraidon Dozo. Did we see Miraidon Dozo? We just saw it do pretty well at
Adi,
Los
do not
Angeles.
encourage Dozo, please.
It's
That fish just needs to die, bro. I hate the fish.
That's reasonable. Well, I don't know. I think that a lot of these teams have cool parts that we might be able to take elements from, but yeah, I would not rip these teams bar for bar, except for maybe the Hard Trick Room team. I think that one you probably could rip bar for bar.
Yeah, that one was also made like day one by like I think his name was Johnny Chow or something. And they actually that's the same 6 Pokemon. The only difference is like it was Scope Lens Gallade. Otherwise, it's like the exact same team that was like made day one. Because I remember using it on YouTube and like messing around with it because it was kind of fun. But yeah, I think that's like the like nothing has changed like on that team at all except for the Clear Amulet on Gallade.
Can you pull up the Lunala team one more time, Adi? I don't know if there's anything we missed about it when we were talking about it, but it is like funny that it's like just kind of doing the same thing that Shadow Rider's doing, especially like Adi's Shadow Rider from LA, you know, CM with Ghost Fairy coverage. I do think that after trying out Meteor Beam Lunala a bit, even in my prep for like NAIC, it just felt like like you have to so carefully line up that like perfect meat beam, and then like if it misses, that's obviously annoying. I didn't even care about the accuracy that much. It's so much just like if they switch, you know, if that instant switches into a Rillaboom, Rillaboom takes 40%, and then they switch back to instant. And what am I doing? I'm moongeisting the instant for like resisted damage for the rest of the battle. And so the Lunala having 2 options that I can be clicking at all times in the battle, and also really showing that it's very hard to punish just like bulky mono fairy types like Terra Fairy on a Pokemon like that. There's just not good ways to take Pokemon out like that quickly. And so it makes a lot of sense that a team like this could run deep with a restricted going on like that. The rest of the Pokemon are just like, I mean, that the Booster Energy Jugs is pretty heat. It's got Rain Dance. That's funny. But yeah.
I think too, like the Calm Mind, like if you play against Lunala, I think Calm Mind's like a little weird. So like if they do just lead like Rillaboom Lunala and fake out Calm Mind, you might lose the game instantly if you didn't like lead to punish it. And since it's best of one, like you're like, oh shit, this thing's going crazy now.
And Lunala's got good matchups in theory. It's not bad into Zama, not bad into Cali Ice. and I don't know the rest. It's probably
mean-
like okay in a turtle.
Yeah, if you can combine, I imagine you're pretty good into Miraidon. Into Turtle is pretty bad if they have combined, but then you have the Toxic Umbreon, so you can win the mirror, right? So
So
just tech
true.
out for
Toxic
that.
Umbreon.
I mean, legitimately, right? That's what it's for, is to beat the
Yeah,
combined
no,
turtles.
I'm glad that it's coming through.
So yeah, I don't know. I think that Combine Lunala is probably a real set. I think the people Combine Lunala with leftovers and Rillaboom is probably really, really annoying for some teams. Again, you look at my team from Los Angeles, where I kind of matchup fished and said I'm going to face a lot of special restricteds, and I'm going to slap them with my restricted if I do. And Combine Lunala does basically the same thing as Combine CSR in those matchups. In other matchups, you got to figure it out, right? That's the place where it's a little harder. But it does probably have a better Ice Rider matchup than Combine's Calric Shadow. So I think the set, at least, is probably pretty legitimate. The only problem is then you are opting into running the 9th best restricted, I think, which is always a scary proposition.
I think it's better
probably
than
ninth,
Groudon.
huh?
It's better than
No,
Groudon.
I think better than Groudon still puts it at 9th. The ones ahead of it are Zacian and Kyogre.
Yeah, okay, it's 9th then. I think Groudon
It's
sucks.
9th. Groudon sucks. Dude, honestly, Groudon might be 11th. I might be willing to put some random Pokemon above Groudon, dude.
Nah, there's always like some random dude who keeps getting day 2 with it and getting like top 16. I swear to God, it happens at the last 2.
No, I think
Speaking
I don't
of,
think it happened at the European one, but I think in the 2 NA ones, there's a random Groudon in top 16 each time.
is there anything else we want to cover in terms
Was there
of
a
yeah,
Combine
Japan now?
Lunala at LA
Yeah, there
stream going like
was.
crazy? Yeah,
No,
it was like
there
a day
was.
1 game.
Yeah, and I think
Oh,
they got
no,
it was
16.
Andrew, right? Andrew
Yeah.
Brown.
Yeah,
That was Andrew Zhang. He actually went like 3-1. I think it was 3-1 on stream to 3-3 or something. I don't know. He
Ooh.
just it did not go well after the stream set, but the team was funny.
And so I guess with that, we can talk about we can move on to the Bologna special event, unless there's anything else people want to cover for Japan.
No, I think we mostly talked about all the stuff that we want to from there. But yeah, I think we all seem kind of in the shared take that this feels a lot less like it holds a lot less bearing on NAIC. I mean, maybe we'll eat our words. Maybe Assault Vest Calyrex Ice is actually the Nats winning team. I think we actually didn't even we kind of glossed over that on all the teams that had it, but there was no Trick Room Calyrex Ice in top 8. There were 2, and one of them got runner up, one of them got top 6, I guess. They're both just Assault Vested. Seed Bomb, Crunch. I heard there was a game where I think they played each other and they both just turn 1 crunched each other. What does this game come to where you're leading Calyrexes and crunching each other off the rip?
They both probably thought I'm gonna get his ass so hard here, and then when they both do it,
Why are we doing that?
Get the defense drop too. I mean, it's not clear him.
Hey, you were
Terra Dark. That's a Cali Shadow matchup right there.
That's a Cali Shadow matchup. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so funny. All right, let's talk about Bologna.
All right. So this was the Shadow Rider tournament. I warned you in the preview. Italians love Shadow Rider. Not only did it win, not only did it get top 4, but also we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more in top 16. So 6 of the 8 teams that got top 16, and then also 17th, were all Shadow Rider variants. This tournament was it was interesting for sure. But yeah, I guess who wants to talk about Shadow Rider first?
Hold on, I want to jump in really quick at the top and say that I did win Smart Money because I grabbed Roxanne and Roxanne got top 4. So just got we didn't write it down. I had to go look at the video, but yeah, I did win Smart Money. Let it be known. Okay, so one thing I want to say about this team that got first is that it's been around. For people that don't know, got top 16 at Stockholm, I think. Some decent run there. Something very close to it with that very annoying Chi-Yu set, the Covert Cloak, Taunt, Snarl. It's a very devious set, and for people that I was coaching at the time, I was like, this is the best Shadow Rider team right now. You should be using it. And then everyone dogged on Shadow Rider, me included. This team just kind of it came full circle. I don't know what that means about the metagame is just just recycle ideas. And I liked what Burns' take was. I think Burns said at some point, if you just run the same team the whole format long, you'll find your tournament. And he's like, it's not wrong. Eventually the meta will disrespect you enough that you make a deep run, right?
I guess. I mean, this is I think that what people, at least me and the people I talk to, have realized is that Mienshao and Clefairy are just two of the most annoying Pokemon in existence. They introduce so much volatility. I am so sorry, everyone, about Sing. Yeah, I know Ryan, before we played on stream, was like, "You're not going to Sing me, are you?" And then made every effort to stop me from doing it. It is so like it is so infuriating, right? Because even when you're losing, you can click Sing, and sometimes you get bailed out. Even when you feel like you're in an advantageous position against Mienshao, Calyrex, Shadow Rider, they still have like so many different options they can click in any given situation. And so it is just a really really frustrating team to play against. I think it is really strong into opposing Shadow Rider teams. Right, I'm very glad this team was not super common before Los Angeles because I don't know how I would beat it personally with my Shadow Rider team. A lot of people have asked me. Good question. Yeah, it's a scary team. This is a team that you should expect to see at the NAIC. There are a lot of different variants of this team. So just because you know how to beat the one that has, you know what, I'm just gonna look at the Chiyu because you mentioned Covert Cloak. I don't think that most of them were Covert Cloak. Oh, half of them were Covert Cloak. So they might be Covert Cloak, they might be Focus Sash, they might be Choice Scarf, right? You gotta be somewhat prepared for all of these. And same with Clefairy, same with Calyrex Shadow having all these different items. It really does change the matchup pretty significantly. And so I don't know how, like, again, people keep asking me, how do you beat this team? I don't know, but it is a really, really scary team to sort of just pop up a week before the second biggest tournament of the year.
Damn, wait, did we like catch a raid somewhere? We just got like, okay, never mind. I don't know if my screen was bugging, but it like bumped up to 95. How's it going, people? Like,
Yo,
damn, we're going crazy.
We're busy. We're busy complaining about Clefairy. Yeah.
I don't know. There was just like a shadow raid or something. Okay.
Shadow
we are not sponsored.
Ride, perhaps.
Oh no, I was gonna go a different direction. I was gonna say we are not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends or whatever.
Yeah,
not yet. We could be.
Not yet.
It falls into your court,
you know. Dude, if they haven't hit us up yet, like I mean, they're never gonna come for us. They go for everybody.
This was my best use of the Joe Brown meme, by the way.
Oh, yo, dude, we need to use that more. That Joe Brown template needs to be used more. It's so good. Okay, so talking about some more of the teams though. Second place was pretty close. I actually think, wasn't there like a tragic like double heatwave miss or something?
Yeah, he hacks the shit out of him.
Hell yes.
Game 1 was like the game 2 ended on a double heatwave miss when I think it was gonna like go into his favor from what I saw. And then game 1, Whimsicott got crit by Astro Barrage turn 1. So
through light screen.
Yeah, through light screen.
Yeah, through light screen. So he would have had he gave him a boost turn 1 and it just kind of snowballed. Like I think it was really unfortunate for Luca. I think that not that he would have won game 1 instantly, but I think that he was it would have been way better than what happened because he just got rolled.
Mm-hmm. The team is very strong though. It's a good mix of like, I don't know, it just is so annoying everything this team can be doing to you. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Miraidon is very good, but I think a lot of it just comes from how obnoxious it is because like it's pretty. I feel like Miraidon, Giraffe Hands is usually, and Whimsicott is usually the core, and the other two mons switch it up, but it's usually just Chiyu. And they have Trick Room, like a really strong Trick Room mode if they go Iron Hands Giraffe, and then they have like a super strong Tailwind mode, so it just kind of feels like you're playing roulette, and it's almost impossible to find a lead that's going to beat both modes. You usually just have to call them, so it's a very obnoxious team. And that's not saying they don't just like Chiyu Miraidon and just discharge Terra Ground Heatwave you or something. Like it just gets really, really frustrating to play against.
Mm-hmm.
And they have Encore.
It does feel like it can get very read heavy. I think like that was my experience playing against almost this team twice. I played Carter and James Evans at Los Angeles, and they both had one mon off this team, which I think is the Urshifu slot. I think Carter had Landorus and James had an Iron Bundle, I think. So yeah. I have it pulled up actually. Just checking. But yeah, it's so this team has been around. But the Scarf Chiyu with Miraidon is just such a strong pin. It threatens so much stuff that it's really, really hard to beat unless you have, again, a sort of game plan for it, but also because they're leading two choice mons, I think that is definitely a little more exploitable. And then, like you said, they have a lot of different mix-ups for it. Yeah, I mean, this is also a devious team, right? It's turning into it feels to me like it's turning into a very volatile meta game just because of the amount of damage that teams can throw out on turn one. It almost feels like VGC 2022, the Dynamax format, where we were all just like leading our Charizards and saying, "Am I going to Dynamax this turn, or am I gonna protect? Am I gonna switch out?" And just playing that big game of chicken. That's how it feels like playing against Miraidon, and honestly playing against some of these Calc Shadow teams too.
I'll take this any day over fucking Charizard, man. Fuck that guy.
The big thing though is like Miraidon, outside of Luca performing really well with it, it kind of eats shit. Like when it play, like the other ones aren't doing well. Like even at LA, I don't think there was one in top 16. There's
No.
one.
There was.
Exactly one. There was one, right?
Mhm.
And so like here again, there's one in top 16. And so like it feels like it's like the perfect team to get you to day two, but it's not the team that gets you the win outside of Rajan, obviously. But that was different meta. Like no one was using it.
Yeah.
I do think Miraidon is. I don't think it's one of the top 4 restricteds. I think it's probably number 5, maybe number 4. But like, it's kind of these placements kind of reflect that, where it's going to have a couple good performances, but it can win a tournament for sure. But I don't think it's as strong as a lot of the guys that we see: Calc Shadow, Terapagos, Zamazenta at the very top.
I don't know. I think Turtle has been like. I mean, I guess the Turtle has been doing better, especially the Calm Mind variant that's done really well. But even then, I don't think the Turtle is like. I feel like Miraidon's just better. I like Miraidon more than Turtle.
Turtle won Japan Nationals and got 3 out of top 8 in a regional
count.
the same weekend. What do you mean,
Japan
man?
Nats doesn't count. Japan Nats doesn't count.
Turtle is the best performing restricted across all tournaments, across like all the majors that we've had this format. It hasn't.
That sounds right.
It hasn't.
You can't count Japan Nats because it's a whole different format. It's a whole different game.
It won Japan Nationals. It got 2 of top 8 at Indy. It got it flopped Los Angeles, but it got what 2 in top 8 of Stockholm, right? And then 3 here. Like it's had a really, really good season so far. And I think that if you sleep on it, it's at your own risk. I think results wise, it's next to Ice Rider, Shadow Rider, and Zamazenta. I think it's number 4 or number 3.
If you guys would find it interesting, I added up all the money that the big restricteds made after LA, so I haven't included Bologna in it, but I could find those numbers. I did Shadow, Ice, and Terapagos. Just like, let me see if I can find it.
Well, wait, Bologna, they wouldn't have earned any money.
It's true.
Oh, true. Actually, I guess it doesn't even matter. Just have to remember where I saved it.
But I guess since we're talking about the Turtle, let's talk about the Turtle, because there were 3 turtles in top 8, and I think they were all the Combine set. So 2 of them, Torviv and Roxen, used the Screamtail variants, and then Nikki Alex went 15-0 before losing in top 8 with what I'm calling the Lost Box variant, because it has a Comfey.
Let's, I guess, start with Roxen because he did better. Also, Roxen and Torviv, shout outs Tub. Happy to see them do well. I'm always making fun of Roxen because I literally got to go find this message from him. It was so funny, but like he posts in Tub like, how do you guys team build? I usually just pick 1 Mon or 2 and then just pick Incin, Rillaboom, or Shifu. And I'm like, bro, I'm just like, these Europeans, they can't break out of their shackles, man. Incin, Rilla, Ursh, Incin, Rilla, Ursh, Incin, Rilla, Ursh. Man, every time.
The top 6 Pokemon were just the 6 Pokemon between me and Mont's team that weren't Shadow Rider. I think I actually took a screenshot of that one too. But yeah, why would you not use Incineroar Ursh? Incineroar Ursh Raging Bolt is just the best Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean,
look,
yeah.
This is just the team. This is my team.
Yeah.
You pick the Raging Bolt or the Tornadus, and the rest is my team.
Yeah, I know.
I said when the format started, there's a decent chance it turns into Fire, Water, Grass, balance the format, and obviously the winning team kind of breaks that mold a little bit. Is this the way that you want to break it with Shadow Rider? But yeah, these guys are all really good. These 4. That's Doug Bowser's team.
Was this a first Kyogre top 8 in a major so far?
No, it cut Indy. I think Sheleon cut Indy with it.
With that same 6.
With the same 6, yeah. But Kyogre
A little different.
Kyogre also had a big showing at Japan Nationals, or at least it was very common at Japan Nationals. I think it probably has a lot of different items it can run, and that's part of why it is so good in closed team sheet. But again, it got a top 8. I think it is definitely moving upwards in terms of my threat list. But I guess not many thoughts about this. We've already talked about this team, a month ago, right?
Yeah, no, I don't have too much more to add on this one. It's a cool team. It's like a little bit different for sure.
I want to talk about
Isn't it the same?
It's pretty much the same, yeah. I want to talk about the Combine Terapagoses and the 2 different variants because these are really cool. We mostly seen specs. Again, we see some Meteor Beam here and there, but the Combine set was not nearly as common, but did really well. I think the part of this is a reaction to Shadow Rider being a lot more common. Combine is naturally one of the better things into it. However, I was talking to Roxanne, and he was like, dude, I do not know how to beat Shadow Rider with this team. So maybe it's not. I don't. But yeah, the Screamtail is really cool just because it's another way to create turns for your Terapagos. And then similarly, we see this team with a little more of a focus on healing the Terapagos, but also has things like Thunder Wave to create turns for your Terapagos as well, and then double Fake Out to create turns. So yeah, it's a pretty straightforward team. I think we all saw it on ladder in the first couple weeks of the format, but this is maybe a much more optimized version of it. And yes, it is in fact Fire, Water, Grass, Raging Bolt. It's restricted support mon. Yeah, I know.
All right, Adi, let me. Do you think it's fine to put this on stream? I put the screenshot in. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, just
you want
just
to pull it up? Pull it up.
It's a little embarrassing.
Too
maybe,
funny.
but not
Brox is
incriminating.
I just want to make sure. I don't think it actually leaks anything he's talked about prep wise or anything. But he just says genuine question: how do I get better at team building? For example, for Stockholm, I was able to recognize Zama was in good shape, but I couldn't really figure out a team. I usually slap Incin, Ursh, Rilla, or Amoongus +2 plus restricted and call it a team. And sure enough, the formula, it does it again. Terapagos, Screamtail. Let's get Raging Bolt in there too. I think we solved it. We've solved the meta.
We've solved Pokemon, man. Every single format from here on out is just going to be those 4. 2 restricted formats, I'm putting Instant Rilla, Urshi, Raging Bolt next to my 2 restricted. No doubt. Okay. If we don't have anything to say about Roxanne's team, I do want to look at this team, because this is the coolest team of the tournament, using Comfey. Real One Snow.
Not to mention 15-0.
15-0, yep. 15-0 was really
I think
impressive.
is that the first?
Mhm.
I think so.
No. Oh wait, yeah, it is.
Oh, 15-0, yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's 15-0. That's the thing, because we had the 14-0 from, I think it was Ding last year.
Yeah, Ding went 14-0 at, is it Sacramento?
I think it was Sac, and then
right.
lost in
Yeah.
top 8, unfortunately. And then, sure enough, there's a curse.
Well,
you can't win that much. You've hit the quota a little too early.
You're too greedy. Give some other people wins,
Agree. Yeah, exactly. Tom recognizes that and will find your hardest matchup and pin you in top 8 with it.
Which is apparently Eerie Impulse Thunderous, which is the one thing that this guy lost to. Understandable. Seems like a difficult matchup for the Combine Terapagos team. So Aurelian went 14-0 Utrecht. Do you know if they lost in top 4? Because if they lost in top 4 after going 14-0, then 15-1 is not a scoregami.
No, really lost in finals. They almost won the tour with it.
But yeah, so Comfey is if you go on my YouTube channel, the first video that I uploaded is the Comfey team report from Players Cup 1. Alex, you ran that team too, right? So
yeah, true.
So
I was supposed to.
I have a soft spot in my heart for Comfey for sure. And then Dragapult also cool. Not something that's really seen, but it is fast speed control that is not Prankster, which is very unique. And Thunderwave especially on a team like this that is trying to play 12, 13, 14 turn games. If you get a Thunderwave or 2 off, you're getting 1 or 2 paralyses every game. And if you're trying to double up into a Terapagos to clean up the game, and one of your Pokemon gets paralyzed, you're not doing it. The double target is basically doing nothing when they have a Comfey on the team, when they have so much healing on the team. And so I think Thunderwave especially is one of the stronger things that you can take advantage of on a team like this, on a healing Comfey Terapagos team. I think that they said they were not going to release anything until after NAIC, when Agati asked about the Dragapult and what matchups they bring it to. But I thought that was a really cool tech that we have not seen very much of.
Yeah, I think people should definitely look to try this one because it's like it's doing something pretty simple, but it's got a couple of things that set it apart. There's flamethrower on the Pagos, which there's like some people have been wondering about that. I think it might be good into Zamazenta, which normally walls you out. And if they're like the Terra Grass variant, that's going to be good there. You have like taunt over running another grass move on Ogerpon Wellspring, which is cool. And then just that Dragapult, as we've already mentioned, a very tricky Pokemon. The fact that it's focus sashed means that it's always going to be able to get off like one Thunder Wave. Nothing's going to outspeed it and KO it unless you go for like Helping Hand Tachyon Cutter with your, your Iron Crown. Then you've done it. You've countered Dragapult. GG.
Besides him and Ding, has anyone else gone 14-0?
I think it was just Cerulean, right?
Because I was gonna say if it was just those two, then going undefeated day 1, day 2 means you're guaranteed eliminated in top 8
Mm-hmm.
with a sample size of 2.
Yeah.
No, Aurelian got to finals.
Was 1 win away. Yeah.
What tournament was Aurelian?
Utrecht. The one that Taya won with Articuno.
Right.
Aurelian was so close to the perfect tournament. We've only had 2 14-0 and 1 15-0. So Aurelian, Ding, and but the day 2 Swiss structure is still pretty young at this point. Honestly, it's only like barely over a year old because we didn't even have it for all of Scarlet and Violet.
It was only the 3rd tournament is when they included it. I think. Was it Charlotte was the first one or Knoxville maybe?
I don't know. I don't remember. Looks like Burns is confirming. But anything else to say about this team, or should we talk about some of the other ones in Top Cut? We had
we've gotten through.
I think actually we've kind of covered everything except maybe I don't know if we actually talked about Red Silver's team.
Like we can.
You mentioned Cali Ice usage.
No,
we have not talked about Cali Ice. Where is he?
Yeah, he's
is it over?
There's one in top 32, but
it's
just Europe being fraudulent.
I mean, who better to ask? I'm sure you've already gotten several DMs like, Ryan, is it over for us Cali Ice boys? Do we just hang it up? Are we just done?
I'll throw some fuel to the fire. It's the most honest play style, and it's not top 32 in Europe. What does that say about Europeans? Dishonest. Accuracy 4 in top 8.
Hell yes.
I mean, part of it really, I think, is like, I know you've talked about how hard the Clefairy, Nasty Plot, Calyrex Shadow matchup is, and it's pretty sure that the team has tech for it, and so copying one of the existing variants was just not going to go well in a field that looks like this. We see the ones that did do quite well look very different. We see a couple Tinglu, we see a Ditto, we see whatever this this team is from Costa.
Dude, Costa won with it on stream too. I think it was the last round of day 1.
That was like the most one-sided stream set I've seen in a while too.
I think it was against Fede Campo. I think Fede Campo threw it up turn 2 game 1. Or sorry, turn 2 game 2. It was pretty doomed.
Yeah, I mean it's a team for sure. But so I think that maybe leveraging Calyrex Ice's other strengths. This team obviously didn't do super well in day 2 in a field of a lot of Shadow Rider, but this team gets to take advantage of the triple normal to really try to beat Shadow Rider. Again, we see the Tinglu variants or this one has again double dark, maybe triple dark. Surely it's not Dark Shifu. Okay, yeah. So double dark on this team as well with wide guard, so a lot of hate for Calyrex Shadow Rider. And so I am curious how the Ice Rider players are going to continue to develop Ice Rider because the variants that, I guess, Ryan, I'd love to hear your thoughts about whether the variant that you used is still sustainable or whether we got to switch it up.
Without revealing too much of my Nats plan, I actually have kind of changed my mind on the matchup. I don't think it's as bad as I kind of thought it was at first.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are worse matchups going around right now for Ice Rider than the big, I guess I'll just call it like balanced Shadow Rider.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think it's sustainable. But there's so much room for change. Like the Burns team was like the same general concept where you keep the big balance pieces, Cali, Amoonguss, Ensign, and another fake out with hands, and then you just kind of like mix up a way for hyper offense. Like Ditto was the hyper offense counter to like kind of catch all. So I think there's still room to like keep it honest without putting a Grimmsnarl on and like T-waving everything, you know?
No, I think the only actual path forward for Calyrex Ice is Tinglu. I'm sorry, but it was the 2 top placing
True.
teams. And so, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, everyone below them didn't have a Tinglu, and the top ones did have a Tinglu. So...
Well, I see 4 Ursaluna Blood Moons right under that, so maybe that's like Tinglu at home.
You know, yeah, though the rule is you either got to run Tinglu or you got to run at least 2 normal types in your team. That's the rule.
Yeah, okay, Ditto is a normal type. Ditto's not a normal type. I looked at that first one. I was a little bit suspicious. But I did a coaching session earlier today, just kind of talking about all the routes for Calyrex Ice, and it's one of the most like blank canvas restricteds where you can go a lot of different directions with it, but it's kind of like picking and choosing what you want to cover. Like the directions you gotta start addressing with Shadow Rider or with Ice Rider is like Shadow Rider, Zama, then it's like Chi-Yu type, like, you know, whether that's Chi-Yu Terapagos or Chi-Yu Miraidon, and then yeah, like you can try to beat all of them, but like, you know, ultimately you're going to be stronger into one or the other. It's about what you think you're going to fight the most. Mm-hmm. Does that sound accurate, Ryan, or do you disagree with any of that?
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think the matchups get less polarizing for something like Ice Rider, which, as I said, I just think of it as like really honest. Like, you're not really going to get worse than like 40-60, but if you're running Miraidon, what?
No, I just said right.
Oh, I thought you said wait.
No,
but if you're running like Miraidon, you can very easily get down to like 30-70. If you're running Zama, you can really easily get down to 30-70. So I think Ice Rider is just like, if you're going to stick with one the whole format, it's probably Ice Rider or Shadow Rider. I feel like they just get like the least polarizing bad matchups, even if they're not like, oh, this can't beat Ice Rider. Like, there's not very many structures out there that just get soloed by Ice Rider stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is funny that I saw Burns' comment about how they didn't let Ditto abuse Stellar. It would have been so strong with Stellar. I can't believe they actually like made an exception in the coding for that mon. But it probably would have been a little annoying.
It would have been pretty good if it could. If it just got to do that over and over again. I think it's interesting because my take on the format right now is that you really have to be doing something that people are not ready for. Your bad matchups. You're always gonna have bad matchups, but the best way to catch them is by people not having flowcharts into your team, people not knowing how to get to play against your team, and that's what I think a lot of the Ice Rider players tried to do to mix success. But they all the ones that made day 2 were at least reasonably successful. Even Calyrex Shadow, again, like you see them using a variant that at least I was not super familiar with going into the tournament. And the ones that did something that were a little bit more like what Mont and I did made day 2, but didn't go nearly as far. And yeah, the other option, for what it's worth, is I think you're allowed to use the not top 6 restricted in an established way, like Kyogre or Lunala. Those guys, we know how to use those guys. You just got to kind of have your matchup spread. But again, Terapagos, people weren't expecting Combine Terapagos. People were expecting Specs Terapagos. All of a sudden, 3 Combines in top cut. So I think that is my one philosophy going into NAIC, is try to do something that people aren't really ready for, because this is, I don't know, just like, I feel like it's easy to hate out individual teams, and people are looking to hate out a lot of the more common teams in the format.
Do you think when we get double restricted, Zacian Kyogre is going to come back? I feel like, yeah. Even though they're like both like uncommon now, I feel like they might just help each other out enough that they could work again.
I think it'll take double restricted to make Zacian like up there again. But maybe with Kyogre, yeah. I could see that.
I don't know. They just seem like decent for each other. One of the main things that keeps, Kyogre from having a jolly good time is Raging Bolt. You just get to play rough it.
One thing, I know we like kind of keep dragging this tournament on, but one thing that I kind of just noticed looking at the screen share is I only see one Koraidon top 16, and then I can't see all the top 32, like maybe 2.
There's at least one here. Yeah, I can pull it up.
On a Showdown top 10 ladder right now, like I know at least 2, if not 3 of those players have been on Koraidon for like over a week now. So maybe that's a preview of NA.
I don't know. Let's ask the resident Koraidon boy, Colin. Is he coming back?
I don't know. I feel like he's weird because like our team had some really major flaws in it, and like obviously we abandoned it instantly. That was like the plan, and I feel
That's
like
what we're telling everyone.
Yeah.
but like I feel like he has like a really obvious like start to the team, obviously with those first 3 Pokemon right there on the screen. But then after that, it just gets really hard to beat all the other like restricteds because those 3 are just broken and great with each other, but they're not like necessarily like helping. Like they help with the restricteds, but they don't like outright beat them. So then you just have issues with like Ice Rider's like a huge issue. And I think like Shadow Rider's also annoying because you have no resistance to Shadow Rider in the first 3. So it just starts to get like really funky, and I think you have to get like really creative with them. And I know that some of the people at the top of the ladder are getting creative with Koraidon, but I don't know. I feel like if you can solve the Shadow Rider and the Ice, if you can beat the horses, you're probably chilling with Koraidon. But I think you need to beat the horses first, and then you.
I got the tech right here. We figured it out.
That honestly is an awesome set. He kind of scrubbed out day 2, but like Garganacl is awesome, man.
I played against Garg at LA. While I was using Koraidon, it was on a Groudon team, so I guess maybe he loves the sun. Maybe he loves to catch some rays. But I don't know if I believe in the Pokemon in general.
It is the guy that does okay into Shadow Rider and Ice Rider, but yeah, this team that I think that Ice Rider. I remember I remember that Luca was complaining about Ice Rider, and I know you guys talked about how the Ice Rider matchup was difficult as well at Los Angeles, and that's always been like Koraidon's kind of boogeyman, especially when they had Pelipper. But we see here a lot of hate for Ice Rider on the top placing Koraidon team, with Ogerpon Rock being able to hit it really hard, Goldengo trying to be able to set up on it. We even have the Terra Normal. This is a little more common too. Terra Normal Goldie to also be able to set up into Calyrex Shadow Clefairy a little more safely. So this team is pretty strong. It looks like it's teched out for to beat some of the harder matchups. And I don't know if I guess we can find their schedule. I don't know if the Goldie is actually good enough to beat the Shadow Rider teams that are floating around, but it certainly is helpful at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, we considered those 6 as well. We worked with those 6 originally before we got onto Goth, and we just didn't think it was still enough for Ice Rider. And so it just is like, it just feels like dumb when you have the Goldie, you have the Ensign, then the Ogerpon Rock, and you're like, damn, if they still set up Trick Room, we just lose.
Trick Room is like the main death sentence for Koraidon teams, so if they can figure out how to either survive it or prevent it from going up, then they can succeed. So
I do think though, like with the stocks of like specifically Grass Ice Rider falling, I think that Amoonguss on the Koraidon teams could be successful and find a way to like navigate a lot of the Ice Rider, but you still have to get around their Amoonguss. Like they're going to be sporing you as well, so then it just becomes a wake up fest, and it just gets kind of messy. But I think Amoonguss might be like one of the like those 6 right there are probably like pretty decent enough in Ice Rider that you probably could win.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of depends where Ice Rider goes, because I think Ice Rider right now is like in the dark, where we like the Shadow Rider players showed their hand. Obviously, they could change it up, they could build something different, but the Ice Rider players, now it's their turn to retaliate, and I think that Ice Rider could have a resurgence just purely because like they won't know what they need to be adjusting against, because there is this like showcasing of Shadow Rider. It's like the best Pokemon right now, so now they're just gonna tech out for it.
I love that you have like all horse players as like a conglomerate hive mind that have worries with each other. Like, what are the Ice Riders gonna? How will they respond? Like.
Well, I think this time the Shadow Riders they got to strike at the Ice Riders for two tournaments.
Yeah,
now it's the Ice Rider turn, and also the Europeans just suck with Ice Rider. Apparently, like they're just not really using it. So
too honest, man.
Well, there's a Pokemon that they seem to really like, which is Lunala. There were 7 of them in day 2. We talked a little bit. We talked a little bit about Lunala from Japan Nationals, but this is also some of the wilder teams. And I'll talk about Jacopo's team eventually, but I guess we could talk about the highest placing one that went 11-4, which is just, I don't know. It's interesting. Alex, I think we briefly talked about this. And it's safety goggles with just basically full support Lunala. And I said that if you're running this Lunala, you are basically conceding that Ursaluna is your restricted and Lunala is a support Pokemon. But you know what? Maybe that gets you there, right? It's pretty.
I was gonna say, sounds good, boss. I don't know. Ursaluna in position, that mon is a restricted. That guy goes crazy. Not to mention that like Ursaluna Blood Moon has that like Achilles heel of like, you know, you could Blood Moon at the wrong time, or the special defense stat is a little lacking. This mon has pretty well-rounded bulk and is also immune to Spore. Like, it's just, you get it in and you just start killing everything. Things start dropping left and right. Whether that's, you know, worth doing or easier said than done is up to the, you know, the builder. The second Lunala team, I got a show to my boy Colin. Colin, Pound Knight's back. Did you know? Did you know? Did you hear? Sound the bell?
You literally DM'd me that, bro. When you saw this team, you're like, dude, it's back. We could run it.
I don't know if I ever actually wanted to run it, but, you know, they got the safety goggles ditto, too, by the way. I thought that shit was too funny. If you need the choice scarf elsewhere, I don't know. There's on the topic of ditto, there's two non-scarf ditto in this tournament, and they were Focus Sash and Safety Goggles, I believe. Nobody willing to run the Quick Claw. I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like Quick Claw is pretty nice. Like, Quick Claw is just like, you have the speed ties, but also they're in your favor. Safety Goggles is really funny, though. You could just be like, yeah, I'm going to copy your Zamazenta, but also just be Spore immune. Could body press around your Rage Powder. Like, what?
I think it's also pretty good in the Ice Rider, right? If you like copy their Ice Rider, now you have a safety goggles Ice Rider in TR, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or like you copy their Amoonguss and you're a Goggles Amoonguss. Then you can Terra as the Amoonguss, but still be an Amoonguss.
Mm-hmm. You could Terra Ghost, and then you can Spore the Zamazenta, right? That you tried to copy.
Wait, why aren't we using Goggles Amoonguss as is? Then you can just Terra your Amoonguss and still be an Amoonguss. But like with a different defensive profile.
All right.
Nobody write that down. Nobody actually remember that. Adi, can you delete the tape?
Yeah. I got you. So the base team, the cool team that I wanted to show off was the Jacopos team. I think this person also had a super cool take on Lunala's Zacian back at EUIC 2022. That I remember looking at before or after that tournament. So they are a Lunala main, and they came up with this team with Brute Bonnet, which honestly, pretty cool, right? I think Brute Bonnet it's got good typing, it's got Spore, and Spore is a really good move right now. So I wonder if Brute Bonnet is ready to make a resurgence.
It's funny that this is like a hardcore Sun team, but they just didn't use one of the Sun restrictors. They're like, no, I actually want Lunala.
Yeah, hey, you got to punish the fire types by meteor beaming them.
That's Primal Grout on at home.
It is. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd maybe rather like get not a Groudon. Why did I say Groudon? Koraidon, and then like a Glamora in there or something. That I'll use that for my meat beam needs.
Spore is a very good move right now. Yes, I get it. I know Spore is always a good move, but it's this. I don't know. Are there any other cool teams that we wanted to talk about from Bologna? Any other highlights that either of y'all had?
Oh, I don't think there was a single cool team. I don't know. That's just
very boring.
Like,
get on the Nats. It's the main show.
All right.
True.
All right, let's talk about it. So we have nationals in New Orleans. This is the first time in a long time that the North American Championships has been outside of Indianapolis or Columbus. And so I guess before we jump into the history of the nationals, I want to do two things. First is that we're doing a draft tomorrow. So it's tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, yeah. Same time as Tub Takes.
Cool. Yeah. So we're gonna be drafting players for NAIC. I think we did this for Nats last year. We did this for Worlds last year. It's always a lot of fun. And so, yeah, hopefully if you can tune in, that would be great. I might also upload that to YouTube as well. We'll see. And the other thing that I wanted to do is, so you can see the meme. It is the 5 places you got to eat out of 5, or 5 ways to eat well out of 5. And so I actually went. I asked some friends who are foodies about where should I eat. Friends from New Orleans, where should I eat? And they gave me a few suggestions that I wanted to share with everyone. So these are suggestions from Donald and from Adam Hoffer and from one other guy who posted saying you have to eat here to the response to the tweet that we tweeted out today. So shout out to you three. So there's these two places for po' boys. Po' boys being the classic New Orleans food. The Parkway Bakery and Tavern. And then also
that's the one in the middle, by the way. I don't know what any of these were until I had to look them up for the meme. The po' boy is the sandwich in the middle.
Oh yeah, that's a po' boy. There's actually a po' boy place in North Market in Columbus that I really liked. I get that every single year. So I will continue to get my po' boy fix at Internats every year. But yeah, Bakery and Tavern, and then this was the other one, Liu's Restaurant and Bar. That were the two that I got recommended. If you want gumbo, the gumbo shop right on the French Quarter Riverwalk seems pretty good from what I've told.
Adi, which one of the pictures gumbo, Adi?
Gumbo. I think it's that one of these two, right? One of these is gumbo, one of these is jambalaya, right?
All right, so which one, top right or top left?
Oh God, I couldn't. I think gumbo's got to be top left.
Top right.
Damn. All right.
By the way, for anybody else wondering, the top left is jambalaya. The bottom left is something I've never heard of. Beignets. I don't know how to say that one. Beignets. It is spelled Beignets. And the last one at the bottom right is what it looks like, boiled crawfish. These were 5 foods that Donald recommended to me.
Yeah. This New Orleans, for those who don't know, is a pretty unique place in the United States, or Louisiana, I guess the state is, because it's got a lot of French influence. You can see this area is called the French Quarter. And so I assume that the beignets are pretty heavily influenced from French cuisine, but then you've also got a lot of Caribbean influence as well, on top of the sort of generic Southern United States influence. And so you've got a very unique cuisine here that I'm excited to pick out at this.
Okay, so it's beignet. Beignet.
Good to know.
Okay.
But yeah, so gumbo shop was recommended. Let me pull up exactly what Adam said when he recommended these restaurants. He said this place is excellent. This place, Turkey and Wolf, is a high-end sandwich shop. They make inventive sandwiches, I guess. They came to a food fest in Austin, and I tried them.
Have you been
excellent
trying to show things on screen?
Yeah. You can't see them. I think the stream can see them.
Oh, but the stream can? Okay.
The stream should be able to see them. Hold on.
That's fine. All right. I can go look on the stream now. I was just like, we've been staring at this picture for a while. I wanted to make sure I'm following along.
I got you here. You should be able to see it now. Yeah. Okay. So Turkey and Wolf, the sandwich was excellent. So definitely would recommend that place. Acme Oyster House was the place that I was recommended for oysters. Also somewhat near the French Quarter. I believe this is the French Quarter, like right here. And that is the area that does not flood in New Orleans. That's why it was the first area in New Orleans to be built, and then people started building out from there. But yeah, that's why the French Quarter is usually the place to be. So Acme Oyster House over here, and then the Café du Monde. Adam said, quote, "People would say this place is overrated. I think the vibe is worth the wait." It was like a 30-minute wait, and he said he wouldn't do more than that. So this is a iconic New Orleans coffee shop, I guess, and you can get the beignets here. And then last but not least, we have Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop Bar, which apparently is the oldest bar in America. So a few places to try out while you're in New Orleans. It is going to be hot as hell when you're there. So be ready for that. And it's humid, and obviously there is Bourbon Street right there. It's actually during Pride, so there's going to be a lot of festivities. So if you do choose to drink, be careful, drink water, and know your limits, because don't just drink alcohol, drink water. You will. It is going to be really, really hot. Is the main thing that I want to.
We have a couple questions from chat. One,
yeah.
Do you think this season's regional dates will be announced this weekend? Probably not. I don't think that they'll do it that soon.
I see a question from Ragov, California burrito from a local Mexican shack.
Hell yes.
Good choice.
Rakov's you know what? I heard I don't know. I heard it was being compared to like Japan, where like, you know, you got to be like really hydrated and everything because it's just
Compared to
so
Japan's crazy, dude. That place
I
was
know.
so hot.
99% humidity, just 95 degrees Fahrenheit anywhere you go.
Yeah, you were just kind of like you had to accept that you had like a 1 inch layer of sweat on you at all times, like just body to like head to toe.
Legitimately, like I planned it. I would just like bring an extra T-shirt along with me and then change. Like it was that bad.
I bought a Silks shirt and it was basically ruined by the first day. Just got so wet.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's see. At NAIC, is it just the Pokemon Center, or are there other vendors too? Does anyone know?
I actually don't know if they do other ones at NAIC. Also, Adi, you gotta go back to the screen share.
Yes, sorry.
Now that you're done doing the other one.
Thank you.
But yeah, I don't know if they do other ones at these ones. It usually feels like the non NAIC tournaments are the ones where they do like other vendors.
Mm-hmm.
I think they usually have other vendors, like always. I think there's
You
like
think?
other rooms for them. Yeah, I think there was
Okay.
last year.
You seen other vendors? Maybe maybe I'm just misremembering them.
I know they usually have other vendors, but I don't remember. I swear I saw them.
Yeah, like in other halls. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Pokemon providing anti-chafing paraphernalia. Yeah, that's actually going to be in your welcome kit. Make sure to collect it with your free card or whatever they give you and your mat.
So the trick that I learned in Japan is use deodorant on the areas you expect to be afflicted, and they will chafe less. That's the hot take that I learned in Japan. But
Good take. Good take.
yeah, this is not just a Pokemon podcast. This is a life advice podcast. Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess
so on NAIC though, is there what are the main things we got to talk about? It's
So-
what are the how many people? How many people?
how many people? Good question. It's sold out, and does it
Over
have a cap?
1,100 right now.
Over 1,100. Jeez.
Like are you looking at the Arcanine page?
On
Or should-
Arcanine, yeah.
So, I don't know how many of those are juniors and seniors, but we should, and also there's no refund, so there should be a higher than normal
True.
number of people who don't show up. But yeah, that's a lot of people. Oh, especially we're gonna have over 1,000 people most likely. The
We
first
assume
tournament?
it's probably like 15% reduced from that. So I'm
Right.
just gonna plug that in.
That's about 1,000, right?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
We're
about
jumping all
1,000.
over the place here, but I guess first give us this number. What was it?
This is 1183.
Oh, okay. Ryan, you said that you had the earnings for restricteds.
Oh, I couldn't find it, but I'll just tell you the
Oh,
results that I had. It was like Cali Ice was winning by like 500 over, at the time it was Terrapagos in number 2, and then Shadow Rider was number 3 by like 1,000 down.
Okay. I feel like
couldn't
Shadow
find where
Rider
I did the math,
probably
though.
maybe climbed that gap.
Yeah,
Oh no, I forgot. There's no money to earn it
True.
at special events. So.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be about 1,000 for VGC, right? I don't know if you got a number from your calculations, but is that right?
That
About
sounds
1,000?
right.
All right, yeah. So expect about 1,000 players. Now, notably, the special event that just held had 800 odd players. I think 800 something. And so 898 players, and you can sort of see the breakdown of what Top Cut looks like. Again, 15 rounds, not just 14. And you can see here that some X3s are going to make cut, and some are going to miss. And then for top 16, you see it's mostly just X4. And X4s go all the way down to top 32, and then a few X5s might get money, and you get $2,000 for getting top 32. If you just need top 64 for your invite, you got to do more than make day 2. There's going to be there's going to be a bunch of people in top day 2 who don't actually get the top 64 payout. Not a huge number, but it looks like 4 or 5 over here, and so maybe closer to 8 at NAIC, right? So
You guys remember how big it was last year?
NAIC?
Yeah.
I
Because
think-
I remember there were about 68 day 2s last year, so like 4 so people missed.
I think it was about 500 because they like capped it out. We were like barely over 5. We were around 600 because they capped it.
Yeah.
because people were hoping to hit 512, right, for top 260p. And we missed
Yeah,
it.
and I
Is
don't
that
think we
happened?
even hit that.
So
yeah.
So this is probably the biggest tournament of all time. I don't actually remember how big Charlotte was, but I think this is my one. So I mean, we're gonna do smart money for real soon. I don't know who's gonna claim Wolf off the bat, but biggest tournament of all time,
so
Buff.
fun.
Notably, you can, if you're flying in, you can you can check in at the airport. We mentioned this when the news dropped, but it seems like it should be a good thing to remind you guys of. If you're at the airport, you can just pick up your badge. You can check in, pick up your stuff. You don't have to go to the venue.
I forgot about this.
That's
so
insane.
Yeah, it's so nice. Like, this is also one of the 2 events within driving distance for me, so I will not be going to the airport. But it is really nice.
He got owned on this a little bit, but at least he's appreciative of a feature that doesn't just directly benefit him.
We
You
need
don't have
it.
to drive your friends to the venue day one now. Is what that means.
It's true. It's true. Actually,
Yep.
it is very nice. I'm sure that people will have other stuff they want to be doing on Thursday just to take advantage of New Orleans. So yeah.
How long is the drive for you, Colin?
I think it's probably 18 to 20 hours. I'll be flying.
Oh, okay. And how long's the drive for you, Ryan?
Over a day easily.
Dude, how long is it for me? It's probably the worst.
It's probably 30 hours. Yeah.
Seattle to New.
You're the worst place away from it, I think.
I mean, I'm the farthest you can be in the U.S. That's.
I guess if you're in Alaska.
That's true. I guess that's fake U.S.
I don't
San
think they
Diego
really
to
play
New
me
Orleans
up there.
is 27 hours.
27.
So I'm guessing it's probably 35 for you.
I googled it and it's recommending me flights. No, Google, we're driving. Come on. Google gave me an error. It doesn't even want to bother computing that.
I got 39 for Seattle to New Orleans.
Okay, yeah, Google's being slow.
Oh, mine's 15.
39.
This isn't even that bad.
Yours is only 15, Colin. Why are you even flying?
I don't know, dude. That's doable for sure.
Just
I better get going.
I better get going. Actually, yeah. You guys mind if I dip out of the podcast real quick? I gotta go start packing.
I gotta get in that car tonight.
While we are jokes aside, Adi, what is actually your drive? I'm curious. What's
it's about 8 hours from Austin to New Orleans.
Oh, okay. I've done about around there for like Tennessee tournaments back when I was in Chicago. So that is the limit for me, usually around 8.
Yep.
But yeah, nice.
And so
Cool.
I guess talking about the other things that NAIC is maybe going to be notable for, this is the last chance for people to get championship points this year. So not only are you competing for maybe a Worlds invite if you are just a little short, but you are also maybe competing for a travel award or a travel stipend if you are, I believe it was, what was it in North America? It was the top 12 and then 4 more. Was get the
Top 12 was buy, right? And then just top 8 for money.
So you can see here right now, number 12 is 965, and then number 16 is going to be 869. So it's real tight, and it's going to be really interesting with a lot of players just below, just in range. So if you someone
Ryan
top 8, top 16.
Ryan, how much CP you at?
Just sure. I think I'm
There you go.
26 or
684.
27 place. I'm not really in contention right now.
That's the
No,
crazy
we
thing.
were talking about this the other day about how there's. I mean, you're 180 something past your invite, but I was talking
And that's
about
still
how
so far away from top 12.
the fact that you could win the whole thing and you might not even get it. It's so insane. I think I was talking about this with I don't remember who, but I think it was ES7. He was yelling at me because he's like, dude, why do you need the travel award if you just win the 10K from winning that? You'll be fine. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. But what if I want that round 1 buy so badly,
And-
round 1 buy.
So
More
notably,
money's more money.
16 people is a lot of people. Not all these players are going to even get points, just because it's just large numbers, especially since. Well, you think?
Shade.
I mean,
Yeah, damn. I was gonna say, are you about to do the opposite of smart money? You want to do
You know what? You know what? I can
Scrub money.
I can 100% guarantee that at least one player in top 16 will not get points and might not even show up.
I know
to
it.
this event.
Who? Oh, wait, I figured it out. Damn it.
I'll name a name.
No.
Is it number 13?
Lucky number 13, right?
Oh my god.
But so yeah, also realistically, a lot of these people are going to get 50, 60 points. And so I think the bar genuinely might be around 1,000, 1,050 for at least for the round 1 buy. Yeah, because I could see a lot of these guys getting about 100 points. So then it comes down to who is basically above 700 points can make a deep run at this tournament. And looking at the first page, it looks like a decent number of players. And then it just kind of falls off. You can see who was like sort of competing for the day 2 race.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you start seeing names like Zomog and
Rajan
it's
and Adi,
we follow them for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you, Alex? I thought you were in contention, right? Hey, this Colin.
Bro, I don't think I'm on this page.
You're not in the 600s?
I stopped. I haven't gone to a local since I won.
There you are.
Yeah. So we'll see. It's always funny to see people who have to like get to. Like, we saw it with Raghav last year, right? He got top cut and he had to win one more set to actually get the travel award.
He had to win 2 sets. He had to get
2
finals.
sets. Oh wow.
Yeah. He didn't get it with top 4.
That which is crazy, despite already cutting Internats early that year. That's kind of the bar for day 2. This year it should be a little easier, but just a lot of good players to look out for. I don't know. Do we want to look? Do we care about Europe? I don't know. There's also people in Europe who are competing for travel awards and day 2 races and whatnot, but we don't care about Europeans.
Good for them.
Well, it's also a little different. I feel like for them, it like genuinely is hard for a lot of people to contest because it's like top 8 people get paid trips to go to our tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of the like I would say you're not seeing many outside of like the top 16. Like I would say there's probably the top 16 players are coming and then maybe like 5 or 6 more maybe that are like chasing the stipend. I'm sure there's Europeans who don't have invites who might be trying to like last chance this shit. But I feel like the Europeans, it's more like once the race is decided, most people don't try to butt in. You just kind of respect that those 16 people are getting it. And I don't think in the past there's been like huge upsets. I'm sure there's some, like I'm sure maybe someone could have like a god run and mess up the 16th person's thing. But like I think I remember last year it wasn't even moving like after like before NA and after NA. There was like maybe one like they moved around because some of them got more points, but it didn't change too much who the players were.
Do you guys know of the top 16 like who is not coming? I only know Sanvi said he wasn't coming, but I think we can assume pretty much everyone else is probably.
I'm gonna try to do a bit of research between now and tomorrow to figure out people for the draft because one thing with the draft is I don't want it to be some kind of like, oh, I know this person isn't going and like I'm not gonna like let people know. Like that's just kind of lame. Like it's just more like interesting to know what the pool is that you're working with when it comes to stuff like that and then form your strategy based on that. But yeah, that's a good note that Sanvi's not going.
Yeah, look at the drop off there. It's like once you get to the bottom of the page, like it's like 900 and then like 800. Like they don't even really have a shot unless they go really deep.
But yeah, it'll be interesting for EU. I don't know. I think Oceania is especially kind of isolated because only the first few players actually get to go to the event in the first place. But LATAM, this is also a big tournament for because this is for some people maybe the most accessible Internats, more so than LATAM Internats, right? For people in Central America. No, genuine. Like if you live in Mexico, you'd rather go to New Orleans, right? If you live in Central America, New Orleans is easier to get to than you live in Costa Rica. It's probably easier to get to New Orleans than Brazil. So this is a really important Internats for a lot of these players as well. I think I saw Paul Ruiz was 9th in the travel award race to NAIC, so I don't know if he's going. It's a big one.
Max mentioned 2 that aren't going.
So Tiago isn't going, and Kiros isn't going either. So yeah, some big names who are missing out, and some people who could overtake them down here. I know Gallo is going. I imagine most of the Mexican and Costa Rican players are going. So we could see a big shakeup.
Yan Sim's name. Oh, there he is, but he's going. So big heater coming in there.
True.
So a lot of people. Again, we see more Mexican players here. Mexico has generally been a little underrepresented in the upper echelon of LATAM because of the way the travel awards work and because it's so hard for them to get to the Latin American Internats. So they actually have a shot to jump up the travel award board if they can do well here. So that's another race to look out for. Then I will pull up Oceania, but I don't know who is actually showing up other than the people in the very top. So
I know Joji is, so I'm excited for him.
Where is he? Can he sneak a day 2 invite?
I think if he did do really well, maybe, because I think there he is.
So but he already got the invite, is what I heard.
Yeah, he did.
He got it like literally exactly right with. Oh no, what's he at right now?
There he is, 332.
Oh, okay, I thought he got it exactly with his top 32, which is crazy because he was at 32nd place. So I'm just looking at that like, man, the stars just aligned for him if that was true.
I mean, if he really does get like top 8 or something, does he have a chance or no? Because what's the stipend?
It's his top
Oh,
8
they have
in
so much CP.
locals.
Nah, he would need to like win the whole thing.
Yeah, you'd have to win it basically. So that one might not shake up as much, but I always love watching the shakeout, especially if you get knocked out early and then you're watching people in top cut and you're doing all the math trying to figure out which of your friends will make it, which of your friends won't. It's always really fun to watch as a spectator. Sorry, Colin.
I gotta get my eyes checked. I looked at the chat and I saw Jimmy's message. Is he eligible? But I thought he said, "Is he edible?" And I was like, "Bro, what are we talking about here?"
I mean, technically, but
Right?
Really, who is it?
Wait, what do you mean technically? Don't elaborate. Let's go and talk about the history then, Adi. Let's talk about some of the past NAICs. I've only gone as far back as NAIC. So yeah, sorry, Chase Liebert. You know, we're not talking about your tournament.
No.
But anyways,
So this is
the hottest take in the history of the show.
I think that's a hot take. But let's move on now before I get canceled for.
For cannibalism.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
so
the farthest one back is it was an indie still. The hasn't been an indie since then. It's kind of weird. We had a regional in indie since then, but Internats wasn't in indie. I guess it wasn't in indie until we go all the way back to 2017, where it was won by Chris Kahn over Paul Chua. Chris is actually, I think, practicing law in Japan. I think this is something we've talked about.
Dude, isn't he #1 in Australian CP right now?
Is he? Is he still?
I swear to God, we just saw him.
I thought it was Nick Khan. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
Nick
his-
Khan.
it's his
It's his
brother.
brother. My bad.
Yeah.
Is Nick the younger one? I'm guessing.
Yes. Yeah. Nick,
Okay.
he honestly, we don't have senior results, but I think he won.
He won that year, I thought, or was in.
He won this
finals.
tournament in seniors.
Yeah, I think
That's
he
crazy.
So, yeah. I
these events are so Mickey.
wait.
if you
No,
look
maybe
at-
that was a different name. I don't know.
like
Nick Khan won
you look at the
juniors.
amount of
Nick won
players.
juniors. Dang, it's been so long. Oh God, he's already. Yeah. Well, this kid is good at the game. Dang. I mean, maybe I should be drafting him tomorrow if he's going. What the hell?
And off the top of my head, I think this is one of 2 Aussies to make finals.
No, they won all 3 years or all 3.
Sorry, no. In NAIC, having not looked at the rest of the results, I know we had Amity later on.
Right.
This is usually North America is pretty good about defending their home court, but not this year. Paul Chua could not get it done. But notably, this is I think the first time we've heard the term Paul Chua bomb, where Paul Chua comes out of nowhere to top cut NAIC and steal a day 2 slot from someone or a stipend from someone.
Dude, I think he's. Can you go back to the range? Because I think he's like in striking distance.
He's in there. He's in there right now, dude. He's
in there.
Yeah, he's 9. He's.
Oh,
chilling,
you know what? You know what? I saw this and I thought he was gonna do it again because I thought it was top 8, but it's top 12. So I saw him at 9th and I was like, he's doing it again.
No, he's
But
chilling.
He's
definitely gonna get it.
safely in there.
No, this year it's Wolf Glick, it's Justin Burns. We got some names out here that can steal a day 2 slot.
Dorsey.
Hell yeah.
Maybe Neil. Who knows? We'll
I'm
see.
waiting for Gary. Oh, not me. All right, let's go back and we could talk about the Pokemon, but whatever. The teams that won this were actually pretty boring. Damn, look at these. That's of course knowing the metagame. I mean, you can look down the left column and see Tapu Koko is a pretty good
They look
Pokemon.
cool to me. I didn't play this format.
You didn't play. What was your first year?
21. So like Rex
Holy moly.
Series 9 was like my first VGC format.
Jesus.
Okay.
Coco's
Dang,
cool
wow.
to me.
Yeah, I mean, this
Not
this
having
format
to play
was.
against it, yeah.
Stockpile,
Storm was the best. I'll say it every
belly
time.
button, recycle.
Colin, what is your favorite format?
My
You're gonna
favorite
say
format,
2012 some shit or I don't know.
dude. I gotta say, probably like Regs A through C, dude. That shit was so fun.
Oh shit! Damn.
I actually think Scarlet and Violet is some of the best Pokemon I've played. Like to play and like have fun with. I think it's like actually genuinely so fun. Where like, I think like 14 is ass, even though I did the best in 14. I think 15 is pretty fire. There was a lot of versatility and like obviously everyone talks about Chalk and Chalk is like everyone. It's like it gravitates around it. But like before Worlds, even after Worlds, there was a lot of unique shit that you could do. Almost all the megas were like there was like 5 or 6 megas that you could win with. Gardevoir won Nats. I won a regional with Ments. Kangaskhan won Worlds, right? Like there's a lot you could do, and
I
I think
liked
15.
RS.
Like
RS is fun.
I think 15 is probably like the one I gotta say is the best. But I do think Scarlet and Violet has been really, really fun.
We actually have seen that's Sebas, right? In 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's back.
He's
Sebas
still in
has
a top 3 LA points right now.
yeah, he's making his comeback this year, and he's going pretty hard. So, would not be surprised to see him at NAIC in terms of names to pick for smart money.
That's true.
Yep. Also, notably, the EUIC champion, Nil Sunlop, also came out here and cut this event during one of his really maybe his greatest season, where he got to the top 4 worlds. Right.
He was insane, dude. He's reading his opponents like no one else. It was nuts.
Down there in 13th, Emilio. I don't know if Emilio's going to NAIC.
I
don't think so, though.
Oh shit, he is.
He is.
You think Conan's gonna be there, guys?
Yeah. All
Yeah.
That team was. I gotta say, my team was super fun. I had the most fun playing. That team was like the only time I liked 2017.
Oh yeah, there's Colin. Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a lot of other names.
And then I guess I don't know. Moving on to 2018, we have another tournament, and this time we have Serapis winning the region, the Internats, excuse me, with Lele Blimp, another pretty cool team. Don't ask Justin what happened. He got second. But
Why is there a rain dance? Is that just like a Charizard Y like counter Lewin kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was close sheets, so like you could
Yeah.
easily win a game with it.
Yeah, bring me back, man. Bring me back to close sheet. Anyways,
yeah, and so
yeah,
again,
Justin Burns is another name. Paul Chua usually does well at this tournament, huh? I mean,
Sure.
he's got like every placement besides. Wait, I'm stripping. Did he win Nats? He won not and
he won EUIC. He won EUIC.
EUIC. Yes, I was like, he's won one of these before, right? But he won not NAIC. I was tripping. Okay.
Nope. He got top 4 at this one, so another year where I think he came out of nowhere to get a day 2 invite. But yeah, just we talked about Justin. Justin might be the player who comes out of nowhere to steal a round 1 bye at this tournament if he can replicate this performance. He's also going to show up in top cut at least one more time. I think just one more time. But some other players, Len. I don't think Len is casting this one, but this was another generation of players getting introduced to Lentar out of nowhere. And you know what? He's gonna do it again. I believe Tyranitar's coming back.
He's playing this year?
I think he is playing at Nats. I think he is.
He's on another level when it comes
He's
to
a San
using-
Diego local of mine, and I've just never been to the same local as him. Just we miss each other like every single time somehow.
That's so funky. So fun. Anyways, let's see.
Right.
I don't know if there's any other ones there. There's the one.
So we got
the Wolf guy.
So Wolf won one. Wolf is another player who, in that right on the edge of that round 1 bye race, in that travel award race, could very easily spike the tournament and get it. This one had a little bit more of an international flavor. We see Melvin in top cut for the 2nd straight year. I don't think he's going.
Zine at number 14. Hey yo.
Yo.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's true.
Yep.
He stole
And who's that at number 13? Whoa.
Whoa, that too.
Whoa. This is the first time Alex and I met, actually. He drove me to the event, and then he beat me round 1. It was pretty fun.
It was so funny. Like, I just didn't know who this guy was, and they were like, "Can you give him a ride to the event?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then we just got paired round 1, and then Adi was running his flinch team with Mega Aerodactyl, Togedemaru, and
it was so lit. It was such a cool team. But I don't know. This we see Ashton again. I think Ashton has popped up a couple of these times. All the King Torn Bros right at the bottom of top 8.
Dang, I'm starting to like Colin's Neil pick because like there's just so many names here that like
we're
not going to see again. For
I've seen a band player on every single one so far.
Yeah, like
and like usually very high up.
Yeah,
2 top 4s in a row of band players is crazy.
Basically, if you do well at NAIC this year, just look out. You might be next.
Yeah.
This was also Joe's first big tournament that he did well at.
This was Joe's first big tournament, and he used Radon. And
and he used Crobat Ferrothorn. Let's fucking go.
I see a Walrein in top 32 also.
Yep,
Oh
that
my
was
God,
Dr.
don't talk
Vidget.
about it.
Of course, it was Dr.
I
Vidget.
lost to him.
I played it. I did beat it. I think. Pretty sure. I think I got hit by a. Oh, you know what? Encored my Geomancy, bro. I got owned.
And Gary Gary made it too with the Mewtwo, which is also pretty sick. I still can't believe that one.
Dude, Sam and Gary are both Seattle, so look out.
Like that had to just be like limit testing, right? Like how far can I get with Mewtwo? Or was there some actual sauce?
No, I
behind
think
it?
he just likes me.
Gary. That's scary, dude.
He just
Yeah.
likes it.
You don't know Gary.
Same
that's
with the
scary.
Walrein.
He did give me a
Mhm.
loss in my first regional with his Alolan Executor son
Oh shit.
at Salt Lake.
So
I
this
always
was
lose to Gary.
2020.
This
was
was 2019, and then we had a little bit of a break because of this pandemic thing that happened, and then 2022, and we see this one won by James Evans, the King Villager, who is coming, or he didn't do super well at Los Angeles regionals, but he was coming off of a regional win this year at Vancouver and a second place in Knoxville. So another player who has history at this tournament and also is coming off of a really strong season. And I forget if he is also in the day 2 race or not.
Oh yeah. I think
he is.
Right?
Yep. So also
Cleanly
needs, in a very good spot, but also does need to get some points. Does need to do decently well to keep that top 12 spot. So he's another player to maybe look out for. And Calric Shadow. Justin Burns, of course, getting that his second top cut in at NAIC, and again we shouted him out. Agati, another player who I did not see in the top of the Latin American leaderboard. I think
he was like top 10.
Okay, so he's number 7, so he's still there.
Pretty cleanly.
Yeah, okay. He'll be okay, but I think he's going to this tournament as well, right? So a lot of really big names.
Proved off.
Hell yeah. Zhe is another player who was not super well known, and then before this tournament, he won Milwaukee regionals and then got top 8 with 2 different teams. One of
That's
the
freak of his life right there.
It really was.
Straight up. I mean,
it was within a week. It was within a week, which
on
is
top
crazy.
of the world. That's awesome. I mean, also to win a regional and just be like, all right, a week later, let's change it up. Like,
did he
what?
change his team really? I don't remember that.
No, he did.
He
changed everything. Like he used Groudon,
really?
but he changed most of the a lot of the slots around.
Yeah, no, he won with Evil Dawn and then just said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go run what loses to Evil Dawn, runs Shadow Rider." Like what? I mean, hell awesome. Yeah!
Look at that army of Zacian ogres who just did shit.
So Dawe was really sad because I think he lost his Zacian, and he played on stream without a Zacian and nearly won and nearly made top cut. I think he played Tyrant or something.
No, they lost their Zacian like pretty. I think because they beat Rogov in the last 2 rounds, or they beat Rogov in the second last round without Zacian, like in a 5-mon game, and then they lost the last round to Taran. I think it was like really crazy. They almost cut without it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he played Kyle, and I remember I was watching on a side TV. He played Kyle and beat Kyle without the Zacian, which is crazy as well.
Yeah, are they still around? I know they.
Yeah, they are. They were at LA.
Oh, okay, cool.
That shit was crazy. That story was wild. A lot of other names here now because we're getting more recent. And we're recognizing a lot of these. And then this is
last year in what Colin called the greatest format of all time, Regulation C.
It was good. It was a good time.
I agree with you, man. Honestly, like my team building chat did like a collaborative ranking of every format, and only like half of us had even played like the ones before Sword and Shield, and I just like defended Reg C to the death.
I think
Reg C and
Reg
Reg E were like. I don't know if you guys agree with me on Reg E, but Reg E by the end was perfect.
I sucked ass at that one, but it was okay.
I know Colin and I have too many formats to pick. I'm surprised he's picking the recent ones, but like whatever, man.
Well, I also last year I set aside a big part of my life to play a lot and focus on getting better. So I think that's also why I had more fun too, is because it was a huge priority in my life. So I just I needed to have fun because I was grinding every single day. So
they do say that opposites attract. I think that's why me and Colin are drawn to each other.
We do work pretty well together. I'm not gonna
lie. Right.
I have 2 cuts with you now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, eat that, Raghav.
Well, speaking of Raghav did get second in this tournament. So another.
I stand by he got scammed because they had to play in the morning because of Alex's flight, and I think Raghav is the least morning person I've ever met, and like I think that's why the finals was so ass. That's my conspiracy theory.
Play in the morning? I thought they played like after.
They played at.
day
I had
two.
They played at 7 in the morning the next day.
Oh no!
So I had to wake up at 7 and drive Raghav to the venue so he could play in secret, and then yeah, it was just super scuffed from the beginning because Raghav is like, and we stayed up till 2 a.m. because we were like, you know,
Yeah,
we're
I
having
remember seeing
fun
him at
talking.
the after party too. And
Yeah,
I was like,
so it was
what are
just
you
like,
out? Yeah.
it was just like, I mean, it was partially Raghav's fault, of course, but the circumstances did not help my boy.
Did he know at the time like that it was gonna be that way in the morning?
Yeah, he did. He
Okay,
chose to
so-
do this.
If you make finals
It
of
was
the
his own
Internats,
decision.
please prep for finals of the Internats. Please go to bed at a reasonable
Well,
hour.
you know what? I'd say the same. You can apply the same to Worlds.
Yes, no, like I heard the LAIC finals, like Thiago Lizzani went to a club the night before instead of prepping for finals and got kind of thrashed by Marco. I know MDB did not prep enough for Worlds finals. I was there. He just said he did not enjoy playing practice sets and he liked thinking about it instead. And then we saw what happened, right? Like, please prep for finals.
Tim Edwards was at the bar that everyone was at too on Saturday night. I could be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure. I think he was prepping at the bar though.
Who was?
But how good a prep is that?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, a lot of strong names here. We see Marco Fiero
And Joe
So,
again.
Again, this is also the other Internats that a non-American won. This was the first time since Nick Khan won, or Chris Khan won, that non-American had won. This time Alex Gomez, of course, won. And Alex, I know.
Adi, now that you mentioned it, we have to address the elephant in the room, and it's fucking. We gotta buck up, boys, because EU has won 2 Internats this year, and if they win this one, they're not going to shut up about it.
We're not going to hear the end of it.
I've gone on record to say that I am not pro NA at all. I don't give a shit about this country, but
I love this country. I'll wear a flag till I die. I want Americans to win. This is our country.
I'm pretty anti-EU because of how obnoxious they are every time they do well, man. They're always just like, oh, NA sucks. Oh, I'm like, I don't care, man.
When it comes to like politics, you know, who cares about your country? But when it comes to representing your video game in your country, you got to go all out.
Exactly.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I got to order a flag right now.
True, yeah.
That's true. Ver's got a point. Nils represented. Why was Nils representing USA in World Cup? You know?
You know what? Victory Road, EUIC 2024. Let's see what flag pops up.
Dude, this is like last year when Luca won that tournament.
USA.
He was just like born here and moved immediately, right?
I think so, yes. Yeah. But he played it for a World Cup in Team USA because he thought they had a better chance of winning. So he really sold the American. That's why he has a flag. Is because they used the World Cup, like what you say, what team you played for your flag.
I thought we had a special thing going on Team Sweden, and then he ditched, and then partially because of that, I also ditched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're allowed to swear, Chico. You're fine. But yeah, I think we kind of covered a lot of players. Let's go ahead and talk about smart money. So,
Can I go
Colin,
last?
I guess it is your first time being on, but you're also like part of Tub. We're gonna give the first one to Ryan here.
No, I want
Let's go.
I want to see what you guys say first.
What, you want to go last?
Yeah, I want to go last.
Oh, okay. I mean,
I'm not ready yet.
I'll allow it. Colin's not ready.
My pick, I think someone else might pick, and it's already kind of like a boring pick. So you know, I'd rather use my backup pick.
Okay.
I have. I who's next? Then it's me.
Yeah. Go
You're
for
up.
it.
All right. I guess I'll. Yeah, we were talking about Nick Khan, and I was saying that I might smart money him. No, I'll grab him in the draft tomorrow. I feel insane that I'm going first, and like I could just grab Wolf, but I'll pick one that's like not even that hotter. It's not like a lot hotter, but I'm gonna grab Joe. We talked about Joe a lot, and yeah, there's just like some criteria that I don't want to mention that I feel like makes Joe a NAIC winner.
Why don't you want to mention it?
I'm not gonna.
What does that mean? That's crazy. What?
It's a wild thing to say, right?
Yeah, what information do you know? You've never mentioned this to me, and we've talked every day for like 5 days. What are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure I said this in call. You know what? Did I say it in call earlier with just you, Audie? I think I did. Anyways, the connecting factor. There's a connecting factor, and I'm not gonna spill the beans on that one yet.
Yeah, so it turns out that actually Alex has dirt on Joe, and Joe is the next banned player on that list of people who top cut NAIC.
That one would be crazy. He's got 2 top 4s in a row. This would be his 3rd.
Yep, yeah, it would be. All right, Colin, did you think of a pick?
Yeah, well, I mean, Joe was one of my picks, so I guess I can't pick Joe.
That's how this works.
I would say myself, but I don't want to do that, so I'm going to go with Ragov.
So the next best thing.
Yeah.
You can't pick yourself, Colin.
Okay, you can't? Is that official rule?
Well, I also like to ban that one, but also no, you can't pick yourself in that. You can't pick your other self, Ragov.
Like, if I can't pick Ragov, I'll pick...
No, you can pick Ragov.
All right, Ryan, do you want to go or should I go?
You go first.
All right. I out of an incredible amount of American pride, I'm gonna steal Ryan's pick and go for Justin Burns, who is
that was my pick.
I called that shot too. I had it back up too. But yeah, Justin, like I said, he has a lot. He has a lot to gain from doing well at this tournament. Not only having a 3rd NAIC cut, but also having a chance to jump into that day one during round 1 by that travel award. So I think he's going to do really well.
All right, Justin, I didn't pick you. Don't worry, it wasn't because he gets mad at me when I pick him. So,
all right, I'm gonna go with Kyle Livinghouse as my smart money. He's been kind of hiding in the shadows. He's been training. He's on like a mental health reset. He's picked up tennis. That's what you need to do well.
That is actually.
I legitimately think that helps. Like,
yeah,
that helps a lot. And Kyle also is like really fucking good. One of the most creative team builders, I feel like, as well. Like, he's kind of boring, but he always has some little sauce hidden throughout there. I'm a Kyle fan.
Okay, but he's just using a stolen team at NAIC, so.
Well, I was gonna say I don't think the credit got super like revealed last year, but Hilo is like kind of the arbiter behind the team that won, the Dondozo Tinglu
stuff. Yeah, he used the same team as
They like collabed.
They worked together, right?
At least in Kyle's perspective, he like was more of the heavy carry on that. So
Yeah.
I'll take his word for that, and I'll say like, yeah, if we're gonna see some sauce, he's probably a good pick for that.
I also think sauce is really important in this format if you manage to come up with some really good sauce.
That's true. Sauce is really good if you have sauce.
I was saying that all podcasts. Sauce is really good if you have sauce.
But it has to be good sauce, because if it's just shit sauce, then you just eat shit and you do bad.
Alan's trying not to get me to run across with Don Wings at the tournament, man.
It's not even like, I'm not even trying, dude. You know you're just gonna come to the conclusion that it's ass. I don't even have to do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kyle's a good pick. He's gotten top 16 at 3 of these tournaments and only made it to top cut 1 of them. So you're definitely looking for his, I don't know if you call it breakout. Top 16 is pretty darn good, but kind of convert finally.
I thought he got top 8 at one of them, didn't he?
He got top 8 at one of them, and then
2016. It was 2016. It was before.
It was 2019. He got 8th.
2019. Oh, 2019. Yeah.
Yep. He got 8th.
With Mall Wild.
Here he got 10th. So yeah,
damn, dude.
This is his tournament. He very consistently does well at NAIC, so I think it's a really good pick. But yeah, that is our NAIC preview. Again, we're gonna have a draft tomorrow. We're gonna talk about we're gonna pick out the top players. So more than just one. We're gonna pick out a whole roster of players who we think are going to do well, and look out for the whole Tub crew. A lot of tubbers and a lot of friends participating in this. So yeah, it should be fun. Same time as usual. And with that, I could go into the Calc is right. And this time, Ryan does not get to go last.
Okay, I have mine prepared too, so.
Let's go. Colin, do you have one or you need a moment?
What is this?
I also don't have one. Do you know how the Calc is right works?
No, I've never watched the show.
That's fine. I didn't expect you to. To be fair, no, I have not watched a single one of Colin's YouTube videos, so let's just go ahead and just.
I watched every video and stream of everyone.
Oh hell yeah!
But just don't.
No, I talk to Colin too often. I wouldn't want to hear his voice otherwise. It'd just be like disorienting. I'd talk back to him. I'd be like.
Wait, so how does this work? What do I have to do?
Okay. So the way that the Calc is right works is that somebody presents a scenario with like a damage calc in mind. They'll try to lay it out all verbally. And then everyone is like given a moment to like pick their number in their head, and then the person who presented it calls on people, and you say what you think the number is. So, for example, the Calc default just has like Abomasnow going for Blizzard into Abomasnow, and it's doing 34 to 41%. So if you said like, all right, I think it's doing like 40%, you would get the point. You basically just want to pick a number that's in the percent range for how much you think that that damage calc is doing. And then if you like for also playing, just try to think of something funny. It could also be simple, something you encountered even at LA. If you had like a funny LA calc that you were like, oh yeah, this is funny. But yeah, who wants to go first? Anybody got one?
All right, I have mine. So
All right,
the
let's go ahead.
first restricted I was toying with in this format was Kyurem White. So my
Oh,
calc
yo.
is Choice Specs Modest, Terra Ice, Kyurem White with Helping Hand, Beads of Ruin, Ice Beam versus Calyrex Ice.
Wait, we got Helping Hand and Beads? How did we get this?
Helping Hand and Bead. The Chiyu's on the other side.
Against those Chiyu Kali Ice teams. What move did we click? We clicked Ice Beam?
We're clicking Ice Beam.
Okay.
Into Calyrex Ice.
And Calyrex Ice spread
Max
is probably
HP
just max
Calyrex
HP
Ice
0.
Mhm.
Okay. I've got my number.
Sorry, the Kyurem isn't Terran, right? It's just Helping Hand.
It
Ice
is
Beam.
Terran.
It's Terran. It's
Okay.
Terran.
So Helping Hand, Ice Beam, Beads of Ruin, Terra Ice into Calyrex Ice.
Mhm.
Okay, I got a number.
Colin,
I'm ready.
you
I'm
you
ready.
ready? Okay, so Ryan, pick someone to start.
Let's go with Audi.
I think it is going to miss the 2-shot, and it's going to do 48, let's say.
Okay.
Pick
Colin.
I think it's gonna kill. I think it's at 100. I think it's gonna be 100.
And Alex.
I'm picking 81. I feel like Kali Ice is just too fat to die to attack
Alright,
like this, but also
Did
I think Adi might be submitting one of the worst answers I've ever heard.
I feel like I
I
missed a
don't know where-
multiplier somewhere.
It was Max Helping Hand Beads of Ruin.
Oh,
Dude,
there's
I felt bad about
right,
mine.
there
I
was
like,
Helping Hand. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, whatever.
79 to 93. So that kind of points out just how stupid Kali Ice is, man. Like,
Let's
Choice
go.
Specs, Terra,
Mhm.
Beads of Ruin, Helping Hand, Stab, 90 base power, off 100, what is it, 70? Does not kill. So yeah.
Yeah,
that was
I mean,
that was my calc.
that's so funny.
All right.
All right. I still gotta think of one, man.
I got one ready. If Colin, if you're not ready with one.
I have mine.
Oh, go for it. Yeah, do it.
All right, mine is going to be a Terra Water, Helping Hand, Kyogre Water Spout with choice specs. It's a Terra Grass, Calyrex Ice, or Terra Grass, Calyrex Ice. Yeah.
Choice
Okay, I got a
Specs,
number.
Modest, Helping Hand, Max
Terra
HP.
Water. Yes,
Terra
max
Water.
HP.
Okay. I have my guess whenever.
All right, everyone got
I'm
theirs.
good.
I'll start with Alex.
Yeah, I got a number. Go for it.
All right. So we're Terra defensive Terra on the guy, and then Terra Water on the ogre.
Yes.
And specs. Okay, I'm going 62%.
All right, Audi.
I think I played a Specs Ogre ladder today, and so I got a little more familiar with what the Helping Hand calcs do. They do a lot. I think it's doing a little more than that. I think it's gonna do 68.
All right.
Let's say 88.
88, a little bit higher. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's plug it in.
All right. Choice specs: Terra, Water,
Wow.
Kyogre with Helping Hand. Did I miss any multipliers? Is that it?
That's
into Calyrex Ice, the one spread with we can Terra Water it. That's fine.
Yeah, Terra Water's fine.
It is doing.
Obscene damage.
Damn. All right.
Yeah, Gio taught me this one because he was running in DD Kyogre at the first regional, and he's like, "Yeah, I had to run Helping Hand specs." Or I said I was running Mystic Water. He's like, "Yeah, I ran specs." I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "So I could one-shot Terra Grass, Calyrex, like grass." And I'm like, "What are you doing? What?"
That's pretty sick,
yeah.
actually. I like
Yeah,
that.
one-shots.
That's unholy. Oh my god.
All right. Alex, you got one, or should I go?
I got one. I'm gonna do a bit of a strange one.
Okay.
Where we're playing, leftovers Calm Mind Lunala, and we got off of one Calm Mind. We're not running that much special attack actually. We're modest 20. And we're going for Terra Fairy Moonblast into Assault Vest Iron Hands. The Iron Hands isn't Terra or anything. Let's just say it's 4 HP max Spadef Iron Hands. Assault Vested. Taking a +1 Terra Fairy Moonblast from Lunala with like modest 20.
I knew this one off the top of my head.
I think I got mine.
Yeah. Colin's been there before. He doesn't know which one he's been before, but he's been there before.
I've played a lot of games, and I've definitely experienced a lot of hits on Iron Hands.
So +1 Lunala Terra Fairy Moonblast into Iron Hands.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I have no idea. I got a number. Yeah,
I'm ready.
Ryan, you ready?
Yeah.
We'll start with you.
I'm gonna say 75.
75. All right. Colin?
53.
All right. And Adi?
I was also going to say 75 for the sake of being different. I'll say 74.
Okay.
So
plug that bad boy in. I have no idea. I just
You just made this up.
I was just trying to think of a weird one.
What was
I thought it might not even 2-hit.
What was the EV spread? Just 20 modest?
20 modest. 20
20
modest. Because I know that it has the same special attack set as Raging Bolt. 20 modest. And so that's the first jump point.
And then what was the Iron Hand spread?
4 252.
Max.
4 252. I'm seeing this is helping hint. +1. All right, did I miss anything?
Damn it.
I like that he took off the helping hand and
It is.
Oh, we were right on.
Yeah.
Damn, I thought he was
Okay.
better than that.
So Colin was out there. Zom, what'd you say again?
I said 75.
You're both in
75.
there.
We were both
Oh yeah,
on.
75, 74. You both said the same number. So you're both in there. Like just dead in the middle.
Nice.
Well done.
Yeah.
Excellent
We
calc.
know our
knowledge.
Lunala
Okay.
calcs. All right. So
One more. Adi.
I was going to do a Lunala calc, but now, you know what? Because we just did one, I'll do a Necrozma Dawnwings calc.
Ooh.
All right.
Yes.
So your boy Necrozma Dawnwings, trying to set up Trick Room, and there's God forbid, there's a Calric Shadow on the other side of the field. So what do you got to do? It's just max special attack timid, and they go for Helping Hand, and they go for Terra Ghost on their Focus Sash Calyrex. But you Terra defensively to Terra Fairy. How much is Terra Fairy Necrozma Dawnwings taking from Helping Hand, Terra Ghost, Calric Shadow, Astral Barrage?
Max HP Dawnwings.
Max HP Force Spadef. Yep.
Okay. I think I have a good answer then.
I have mine. This is just
I have
Helping
mine.
Hand Terra, you said?
Helping Hand Terra. Yep.
Okay. I got my number.
All right. And Colin, you got yours?
Yep.
All right. Colin, what you got?
53.
53. All right.
Okay.
I know I'm right this time.
Ryan,
He
what do you
knows
think?
he's right.
I'm thinking Lunala, or not Lunala, Dawnwings and Caliace are probably pretty similar special bulks. I'm going to say like about 85, because that's what I'd pin it at for Ice Rider, about 85.
All right. And then Alex, what do you think?
I just had 68. After hearing Zom's reasoning, I'm a little bit worried about my number, but I'm not gonna back down and change my number. So 68 is what I got.
All right. So tell me, what is Calyrex Ice's special bulk?
151. Actually, wait, no. Now that I think about it,
It's only 130.
130, but the HP is
It's 100.
100. Yeah, so it's like kind of
It's
about the
100.
same.
Do you know what Necrozma Dawnwings is special bulk
I
is?
think it's like 100, about 130, and I think it's also about 100 health.
Yeah, you actually
97 HP, right?
you killed it. You are right on. It is 97 HP,
Nice.
127 Spadef, and it's doing 86.2
Yeah, it's about the same
maximum.
as Ice Rider.
All right.
Yeah.
Now all I
you
got to do is just give this Pokemon, like
Not Prism Armor.
not 150 more, or no, 50 more defense. Actually, only 40. It's got 109. The
Mhm.
stats are alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sadly,
Why does it have 113 attack for?
that way when you Photon Geyser, it can turn into a physical attack.
Oh, true.
Yeah. Sadly,
What
it
is
does
the
not live
special
if you
attack
just
stat on
astral
this thing? Is it 157?
157.
Yeah, 157.
It does damage at the very least.
It does do damage. No, on strong.
Mhm.
It's a funny guy. All right. Well, that's it for the show.
That's it for the show. Again, come back tomorrow to watch the draft. And also, if you missed any part of the show, You can watch the entire thing on YouTube tomorrow, and then I'll try to upload the draft again the day after as well. So look out for that. For now, we are going to send you over to who are we sending you over to?
I'm seeing Topo, Javier Valdez's, or wait, Javier. That's
That would be in Spanish,
right?
So it might be harder. But yeah, let's go to Topo Wapo.
Yeah, no, we could go with Topo then. Yeah,
he is the trick room, the hard trick room player. If you're looking for inspiration for NAIC, maybe you can get it from whatever hard trick room size spam stuff he's using. So we're gonna send you over there. Let him know where you came from, and yeah, thank you all for watching.
Peace out, peeps.